Some riders let adversity define them, others use it as fuel. Broc Tickle knows exactly what it means to fight his way back. After turning pro and grinding his way to the top, Broc's career was gaining serious momentum, earning a coveted spot on the Factory KTM team. But just as things were taking off, a controversial failed drug test brought everything to a halt. What could have become the end became a turning point. Broc stayed focused, stayed motivated, and 2 years later, lined back up with something to prove. Since then, he's continued to add value to the sport, not just as a racer, but as a key part of the Factory Kawasaki program, helping dial in bike setups for Jorge Prado and Jason Anderson. He's also stepped into coaching, passing down his knowledge to the next generation of riders like Garrett Marchbanks. His knowledge comes from experience, hard-earned, battle-tested, and built over a career spent going toe-to-toe with the fastest guys in the game. This is Broc Tickle's story. Gypsy Gang, welcome Broc Tickle to the podcast. We'll just get into it.
Yeah.
My parents were just here for a couple of weeks, and I literally put them in an Uber yesterday to LAX.
I know if I have people over, coming into town and they're like, I'm flying to LAX, I'm like,
see you in a couple hours, bud.
Get a car.
Yeah, we ain't doing this. So Broc Tickle joining us on the podcast. I'm stoked for this one, brother.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing it for ages.
Yeah.
We go way back.
I mean, it was what, 2012 maybe?
Yeah,
2013?
Yeah.
You came over for J-Star possibly?
Yep. It was like 2010, 2011.
Yep.
But then you were the dude.
I was starting to make
PC.
I was getting my traction.
Yeah. So where'd you grow up?
I grew up in North Carolina.
So you were from North Carolina?
Yes, I raced North Carolina, the winter series we would do in Florida. We had a lot of competition on the East Coast back then. Obviously my era, there was a lot of guys around the area too. Zach Osborne wasn't far. Austin Stroop, Nico Izzy.
So that was your age generation?
I mean, I was the same as Zach, a year older than Austin and Nico.
Yep.
Pretty much, I think Trey is a year younger than me. Basically, my group, I think the year I turned pro, it was Cunningham, me, Chisholm, Lemoyne.
Yeah.
Will Hahn was the year after, but we were pretty much racing each other all the time too.
Wow, that's a pretty solid...
Sean Hackley, there was a whole bunch of guys, Jimmy Albertson.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a solid generation.
Yeah.
And a lot of those dudes were based on the East Coast too.
Yeah, and at that time, dude, Florida was the place to go in the winter.
Really?
If you showed up there for those races, you were racing who you were going to race at the Amateur Nationals. So it was a good place to be. It was the best place to be.
It's one of the things that people don't, maybe the average fan doesn't have perspective of, is you've raced these guys forever. In football, let's say, let's draw a parallel to football, right? Until you get to the NFL, there's a bunch of dudes you might have never played before. All the schools don't play each other. But in motocross, it's if you get to the top level of the sport, 60% of the guys on the gate, you've been racing since you were on 60s.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, there are a lot of people that, on 50s and 60s that I raced at Loretta's, and I wasn't really good then, but I don't know what happened to them. They disappeared, And then a couple guys I actually found on Instagram to check up, just see what they've been up to and just living normal lives. So it's crazy how it doesn't seem that long ago either. To me, that doesn't seem that long ago.
No, dude.
Me driving my van to Millville for my first national, all the, all those little memories, it doesn't seem that long ago. It just went by so fast.
So you didn't get a ride out at amateurs?
No, so I raced 450 at Millville.
Yeah.
After Loretta's. So
that was the thing back then. Millville was the first one.
So for me, we knew we didn't have a competitive 250. Or it was good, but at a pro level it wasn't going to be, competitive enough. So we just said, let's just do 450. So showed up to
16.
Millville and 16 years old. And then I signed with Star the week after Glen Helen National.
Really?
Yes.
Dude, I fully blanked on this part of your history.
Yeah, so it's, when I look back, it's crazy because there's certain people that help me out, and I look back and there's so many, how it got there. It's just crazy how it all works out,
So paint the picture. So what year was that?
2006. Yeah, 2006.
So what was the Star team like in 2006?
It was an up-and-coming team. I mean, even at that point, the year before, I think 06, Martin Davalos had some good results. Brian Johnson was on the team. Then 2007, it was me, Dusty Klatt, Matt Lemoyne, and Sean Collier, I believe.
Dude, it goes all the way that far back.
Yes. So in 2008, it pretty much had the same teammates almost the whole time. I mean, some guys came in, Michael Hall, in 2009, I believe, Darren Durham.
Yeah.
So I was around a good group of people, and I would say my first year was obviously a learning experience. I didn't qualify for my first Supercross. Got fifth at my second one, so I backed it up. You know, I kind of got my feet going, and then outdoors, I pretty much was top 10 almost every race. And then I got hurt the following year, so I missed all Supercross in 2008. So that was a struggle bus.
Yeah.
Because then after that, I barely got the ride again.
At Star.
Because all summer I struggled. I shattered my elbow and came back and I was not ready.
No way.
Yeah, and then I finally got, I think the last two races I had some really good rides and I got re-signed, but it was very close.
Touch and go.
Yes.
So what was the first national like, the experience?
Honestly, Hangtown on Star, if we're talking about
Millville.
450,
Millville.
I was just like, I just got to get through this. Yeah. Big shoes to fill too, especially looking across the gate and seeing Ricky and James and Chad and the whole
Yeah,
list.
so it was 07. 06.
Yeah.
Dude, that must have been the craziest pro debut on the line with those dudes.
Oh, I'm like, this is like, I looked up to those guys, that's
Yeah.
I mean, Reedy was like the guy I really looked up to. I liked obviously James and Ricky, but I really looked up to Reedy whenever I was, in my prime of amateur,
Yeah. What was it about Chad?
I don't know. I just liked his persona. I think a lot of people said he was kind of a dick, but dude, I just liked it. He just had a good vibe and always kind of was the guy. I think he was kind of like an underdog to me.
Yeah.
And I dug that because I kind of felt like I was that way too.
Yeah. It makes total sense.
So I think that's why I kind of was attached to him.
Yeah.
And then it showed I raced him until he retired, so it's so gnarly to even look at it like that.
So 06, that was the mud year, eh?
Yes, second moto was so bad.
So did it rain the first moto that year?
No, I ended up getting 11th first moto, which was really good, obviously, for me. And my starts, I've never been known to get good starts, so for me, to get 11th, I was like, I'm close to where I want to be. I can't see myself doing much better, really.
Yeah.
I was stoked.
Yeah.
So second moto, I fell about 10 times, and it was just a fight.
Was that probably the worst mud race you've ever?
100%.
Really?
I fell within a 20-second part of the track. I think I fell 4 times.
No way.
Get up, and I was fighting like a dog to get back on the bike and fell over again. It was tough.
Was it raining the whole moto, or the rain stopped? Because that basically makes it worse.
I think it was off and on. Before the moto, I think when the 250 moto was going, it just dumped at halfway, and then it rained until we took off, and then I think it quit for a little bit, and then that's when the track got worse.
Yeah, for sure.
So then at the end of the moto, I think it rained again, so it just was gnarly, especially me on my own. It was honestly me and my buddy Wes, who helped me out when I was an amateur. We drove from Loretta's in my van. Had 2 bikes, but we had our 55-gallon drum in the back with the pressure washer. We did it totally raw, privateer.
That's legit.
Yes, it was cool.
Was your dad helping you out?
Yeah, my dad flew in because he had to work, obviously.
What'd your dad do?
So my dad used to, my grandpa and him had a furniture business in North Carolina because there's a port there in Wilmington. They did that when I was growing up. Then my dad started his own business called Tickle Imports when I was a kid. And then due to my racing, obviously, in my schedule, he started selling insurance, and then he started working at the dealership as the general manager of the motorcycle shop that sponsored me.
Yeah, right.
So then it kind of fell into place. Honestly, I didn't really get that much support from Honda as an amateur until my last 2 years, and all my support came from Larry Winters, who owns that Sirius Racewear.
Yeah.
That family obviously helped me a lot. The Treadle family, and then Triangle Cycles was the dealership.
Yeah.
So, honestly, those 3 people, I wouldn't have made it this far.
It's wild what it takes, eh?
Yes.
Like how if a couple of things weren't the same, you just probably wouldn't have ever made it.
No, like I even look at when I got suspended, I was coming back trying to put my own team together, or, all this stuff. Like the way things work out sometimes, dude, you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
It'll fall into place. And that's kind of what happened. Like, I was like, man, this is going to be hard to do, but I can do it. And I had no option at the time, preparing for that. And then guys get hurt. JGR, someone got hurt literally 2 weeks before, and I'm like, it's a blessing. Then going into outdoors, JGR was going to help me out. So like all these little, it's just crazy how things just work out.
If you just keep doing it.
Yeah, if you show up and do your work and focus on the things you need to, things fall into place.
Yeah, and then even now with like the role that you've got now, it's like you've been with Cowie 4 years, and it's just seems like the dream role,
No, it's a great. After racing, this is a perfect spot to be. I mean, I know you've had people on, and it's not easy, even in my position, basically retiring. But I have the best, you know what I mean? My scenario is awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful for that, and I get to ride a good bike. I get to do what I enjoy. I'm around a team just like if I was racing.
Yeah, true.
I got to go back to racing last year for 2 races that I asked to do, and I had a blast. Honestly, it was cool.
Yeah, it is. You are right though. Like if you just keep just plodding along, doing the work, and something will come of it eventually.
Yes, it doesn't matter what it is either. Whatever you're focused on and headed towards. If you just keep going, I mean, there's going to be speed bumps in everything you do, and each time you get to one, just keep going.
Just plow through.
It's just part of life.
Yeah,
I think that's in all across the board.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So you do Millville, you get the star ride. Then first year goes good, second year the injury.
Yep. How'd
you get hurt?
I was at MTF at the time training. Bobby from Star wanted me around them.
Yep.
Actually, wheel tap and whoops, to be honest. Like there were super small whoops, and then at the end they got kind of big. So the fast way I liked doing it was wheelie, 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 wheel tap, and then just drop at the end and then jump out.
Yeah.
And it was fast. And I caught traction one time and just looped out. And then I landed straight on my elbow, and it was a long recovery too.
So quick and easy to happen.
I think it was like 2 weeks before. It was like January, I want to say, of 2008. Dude, I didn't start riding until the end of April.
No way.
Yeah, so I only had about 4 weeks to get ready for outdoors, and I was behind the ball.
So what were the Star bikes like back then?
They were competitive to the top 10, but obviously, you know how it is, dude. Like, you listen to even YouTube videos of the Pro Circuit bikes and Geico bikes then. Dude, like I line up next to 2 of them next to me, and I'm like, well, here we go again. And nothing against my bike, but like I'm like, my bike isn't that.
Yeah.
But I obviously I use that as motivation, to be honest, because that's how I got through my career, because I was always on the tipping point of like breaking through, and I always like wanted to go to Pro Circuit, and it ended up happening. But like that's how I motivated myself, was like, yeah, you're on a better bike, but I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah. It's like that underdog mentality.
Yeah. And if I saw him and there was 2 laps left, I'm getting him.
Yeah,
like I made the decision. Yeah, I made the decision in my head, I'm going to do it, and I did it. And I would say 2009 was my breakthrough year.
Yeah.
First podium in Supercross. Outdoors, I was solid. And the bikes were getting better. 2010, the bike got even better. But in 2009, I really, honestly, I look back at the results and I'm like, dude, that was a solid summer.
What changed? You just got better and better and better and better?
I think we got introduced to Rhino, and we started training as a group. And prior to that, I never did that, And Rhino helped us in 2009.
And that was through Star?
Yes. So we all trained with him. And I think for me, like the working hard part of it is something I thrive, in. And me being around other guys on the team and, getting pushed, I want to be the best guy on the team in everything we did. And I think it brought a competitive nature to me, and it shined.
Like just tapped into the right part of you.
Yeah. So like it was cool. It's cool to look at, because like, it's not like I wasn't training hard before, but it's just being around people and kind of being the underdog, I guess you say, or me seeing myself being better than what I was performing at. Like it was cool. Like even if it was a weird sense of confidence I had then. It's hard to explain. It's almost like if I wasn't that good during the week, I would always work hard and try, but sometimes the speed didn't come that easy to me. But I'd show up on the weekend, or during the week, I'd be like, it is what it is. Like, all the PC guys would be like 3 seconds, 4 seconds a lot faster than me at Glen Helen, and like, but I was trying. Like, it wasn't like I was just out there just riding around. But I'm like, when you get to the race, I'm gonna show up.
It's funny. I was just at Star a couple of weeks ago, and I was making a video with Cole, and he just got smoked on Tuesday, and just like fully off the back. And I'm like, fuck, that's gnarly. And yeah, he was trying. He was fucking with the bike, and they stayed out there late, and he was over it. Like, he was off it, but get in the change room, and he's like, it's all right, I get paid on Saturdays, I'll show up Saturdays. And he went and did it, and I'm like, fuck, that's pretty gnarly for a 17-year-old kid to be able to do that. And you hear of some guys throughout history, like, so it goes one way or the other, right? You got the guy that just blitzes everyone, fastest guy in the world on the test track, can't do it on Saturday. And then you got the opposite, which is the guy that can get smoked through the week, but you know for sure he's going to show up. That's like a strange level of confidence that you have to have in yourself.
For sure. I even think Cooper Webb even speaks that big too. Like, I mean, he doesn't speak it, but he's in that scenario. Like, I don't think he's probably the fastest guy during the week, and he wasn't like that whenever I was around him, you know? But when it came to race time, he shows up, puts his helmet on. He's a dog.
What do you think it was in your case?
I think it started when I was amateur, though, because I never got support. Like, really, like, you know what I mean?
The guys
the guys that I was next to and beating and battling with, like, dude, they were getting paid. They were getting triple the amount of bikes that I was getting, triple the amount of the parts, like all the above. You know what I mean? They had a super nice motorhome. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything was, you know, not saying mine wasn't great. Like, we had people help me out a lot, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. But it honestly drove me, because I'm like, I want to beat that guy. I'm better than him.
Yeah, because it can go two ways, right?
Yeah.
You could be the kind of kid that makes the excuses, and I probably was this kid when I was racing. I'm like, I can never be that guy. I don't ride enough. My bike's shit. I don't have this. I don't have that. And it would stop me. And I obviously never made shit out of racing, you know. But then there's guys like you where it just fully drives them in the opposite direction. And it just goes to show that perspective is everything, because you can have two guys in the exact same situation, but the two different perspectives are going to give you two wildly different outcomes.
No, and my dad was like really, really hard on me, just like every other dad. But my dad wasn't like every other dad like growing up. He wouldn't get mad at me unless I gave up. So like, he embedded it in our heads as the Tickles. You're not giving up. Like, I don't care if you go out and get 10th, but if you give up and get 10th, yes. Yeah. If you give up and ride around, I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah.
And that started when we were a kid. He even had little stickers made there on my crossbar pad. It said, "Don't give up, don't ever give up." And that's just something that I thrived off of, you know? And I didn't realize it then. I thought it was a stupid little sticker sometimes, you know, because he'd want to put it on the crossbar on every bike. And I'm like, Dad, I don't want it there. But now I look back and I'm like, he was building something.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's, it's funny that there's a thing now, I guess, like in, you know, raising children and whatever, that you're not supposed to build up the results of things. So it's like, you don't praise the result, you don't praise the good grade, you don't praise, oh, you're so smart, you're so this, you're so that. Now the correct way that they say that you should do things is just praise effort. Yeah. And it's like, did you do your best? Good work. That's the best. Like, not you're so smart, you're so gifted, you're so talented. It's like, you work so hard. I'm so proud of your effort. And it's like, that level of perspective that you can give a kid, I think that is the powerful perspective.
Yeah, you know, like, you even saying that, it makes me, I'm back into coaching now. I stopped for a couple of years because I wanted to go back racing last year, so I focused on myself. I hired an endurance coach. I trained, got ready for that, and then stopped coaching guys. Like, I kind of just wanted a break from it, and I wanted to see something was going to stand out if I wanted to do it again. Yeah. And Garrett came up to me about midway through his 3 races into Supercross
this year.
Yes, and we started working together. And funny you say that. That's ultimately how I'm coaching him. Like, we're so, like, as a racer, you're so tapped into like, what's my lap time? What's this? What's that? Like, you know what I mean? Numbers.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it happened last week. Like we were at Paris and I told him lap times other guys were running and he was frustrated. He's like, there's no way they're running that speed. And I said, well, your focus of that moto wasn't speed. It was you getting a good feeling on the bike. We're going to go do sprints now. And then first time he comes in, he's like, what's my lap time? What's my lap time? He's all excited, you know? And I'm like, you don't need to know it. Did you put in 100%? Do you think you can be better? Go do another one. And then he laid down a heater. And then I'm like, he's like, he came in again. What was it? You don't need to know it. Go do another one. He beats it again. So like, I'm starting to learn to like, on the coaching side, like it's pretty cool. Like it's almost like making it, you know, planting seeds to make it their idea to change some things, you know, ultimately. And I'm having fun with it because I was a little bit stubborn too. As a racer, when people would tell me things or, hey, you should do this, you should do that. You know what I mean? We just are. We're resistant to it.
Yeah. And yeah, then your natural ego wants to push back.
Exactly. You're like, no, you need to go out first and practice. Okay, I will. Then I go out. You go out last. You know how it is. Like there's certain things that you got told your whole career that we were so stubborn against. But I've been working with Garrett with this and now with Aiden Zing. Like, how was that? What did you feel? Where do you think you can be better? Before I tell them what I think. Because then it kind of puts them in their own headspace and understanding what they're doing and how they approach. You know when you make a mistake or you know when you overcook it and you slam the berm. You know all those things. So it's just getting them to acknowledge
them themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's been really cool because like it's something I think that a lot of guys don't do. And at the end of the day, each racer has their own experience. Like this week, actually before Paula, like Garrett's like, hey, what do you think about where I'm at? I'm like, dude, you're riding so good. Like I could critique you all day. I could say this, and this. And he goes, well, what do you really see? I'm like, well, I see this, but I don't want to change anything. I don't want to think about anything before the weekend. You're riding too good and your speed is really good right now. Let's go racing and see what we get. And like, I think it's good because I don't want to change what's made him good. Because then he's going to lose the speed he had. Yeah. Yes, we can work on little things and baby step our way that way, but I think I'll be taking away from his speed.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that because his speed right now is good.
Dude, he rode great on the weekend.
Yes.
What was his overall scores?
6.5, I think, for 6, because it was the way that class got all jumbled up in the front there. But honestly, I was impressed. Like, I think first moto, he had fastest lap of the track multiple times in the middle of the race, and
yeah, he was ripping, dude.
He dug hard too, both motos, and I told him after, I'm so proud of you, dude. You pushed, and you came through the pack, and everybody in front of you started up front. And doing that, you should be proud of yourself. Let's keep building.
Yeah, it was a great ride.
Yeah.
I mean, especially that first moto, like, dude, he was just there the whole time.
I think he was 18th the first lap too.
Really?
Like over the tabletop, I want to say I got him at 18th.
No way.
So he made some awesome passes, and racecraft was good.
Yeah.
Like especially on a track that people are like, oh, it's so hard to pass on, which it is. I'm not gonna discount that, but he made it happen. Yeah,
it was sick. I was very, very impressed with his ride.
Yeah.
You probably see a lot of yourself in him in a way. Like, he's a grindy dude, like and he's had to like really fight for rides. For
sure. And like, I'm trying to, each rider's raised differently too growing up. Like I think I can be pretty hard on him because his dad was hard on him, like there's certain things that you need to understand. Like Jet Reynolds, I think I was too nice because his dad was hard on him. But like, I'm learning. Each guy's different.
Yeah.
The way they were raised, how did they get success, when they were little?
Yeah.
What was dad doing? Who was around him? How did they treat him?
Yeah, and just like what their personality's like.
Yes.
How my dad could talk to my brother versus me is completely different.
Yeah.
Like I'm the kind of guy that you can be very hard on, and I'm
just straightforward.
Just completely fine with it. My brother was never like that, and it's just a personality trait thing. You've got to really figure out how to get the best out of each person.
Yeah, it's not easy to do either, because sometimes you want to get frustrated or, but I'm learning, like, me as like in this position, I want to offer something to these guys that's not just cookie cutter and not the same as what other people are doing. Like, no, you just need to push harder. I've heard that my whole career. That doesn't
equal.
That's just, honestly, to me, that's what do you call that? Like, it's a saying that's just, you just don't need to say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
Because it's, to me, that's like lost words. To me, it is.
Yeah.
Well, you need to try harder. It's not that. Like, you can tell, like, the guys who are going to be successful, they have it in them. You can see it. And you have to pay attention to what feeds that.
Yeah.
And
yeah, no, it's so true.
Yeah.
What do you look for, or what do you think that guys can do away from racing?
While they're
or like
racing?
away from training and riding? Like Alex Martin was in here the other day.
Yeah.
And then he, obviously super successful career. You would have spent a bunch of time racing him.
Yep.
But, I mean, he said some of the biggest progress that he made in his career was with books.
Yep.
With just learning different things when it comes to mental strength and like attitude and
Yep.
you know, resilience. And it's one thing when I look at guys, like, I mean, I literally speak to these guys for a living, and I'm like, fuck, I feel like there's so much more on the table that is not at the gym and it's not on the bike. It's like, get off Fortnite, get off your fucking phone,
Yep.
pick up a book, listen to it, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
there's so many things that you can do. Like, do you have a therapist? Like, not even a sports psychologist, just a fucking therapist that you can talk to about your life. Do you journal? There's so many things that I think these guys could do away from the gym and away from the bike that would literally just like make them better all around humans, and that translates to performance.
100%. And like, I think also too, like, from my side, like, being here now and being through what I've been through and the experiences I've had, like maybe the mistakes I made and, you know, all these things, like at the end of it, like, yes, I want them to succeed and have results, but I also want them to be a good person, you know? And it's not saying that all the racers aren't, but I want them to be, because that's what matters, you know, at the end of it. Like, set good examples and like take care of yourself. Like, if you're coming to the track with your boots dirty, your gear bag, everything's just sloppy, like, tighten it up. Like, you come downstairs in the morning, trash can's full, take it out. Like, I'm talking just little things. It takes 2 seconds. Make your bed. Like, it's just normal, you know, just being a normal person taking care of shit.
Yeah. Have you heard the saying, how you do anything's how you do everything?
Yes.
It's like the best example of it, right?
Yep.
It's like, it's those little tiny things that make a difference. And what you are is your habits.
Yep.
You know, like me and Anna, it's our 2-year anniversary, right? And I was like writing in my journal this morning, and I was thinking about it the other day. Like, we have a good relationship because of habits that we have together.
Yep.
That we've done for years and years and years, and there's small things like going for a walk, like, you know, there's these little things we do together, and at the end of the, you know, over years and years of time, you end up with this solid thing. And it's like, you can trace it back to these simple decisions that you make, and when you do them over a very long period of time, they just add up, and you change as a person as a result of it. And it's like, it's the same thing as a 100%. Racer, and like anything that you do in life, it's like you just do these habits over, and it's small things over and over, and it literally becomes who you are as a person.
Yes. I mean, even for me, like, I have some morning habits that I like. If I miss them, I feel lost.
What are they? What's the
I mean, I like taking my time, you know, and I like getting up early. I have to do a workout most of the time before I leave, even if it's just yoga. Yep. Yeah. It's a run, yoga, bike ride, whatever, especially with my schedule now. Like, I want that time to myself, like to set my tone. And that's that. Nowadays, it's me getting up a little bit earlier than what I would like to, but that's what makes me tick, you know, getting up at 5 and getting a bicycle ride done before I have to go to the track with the kids. So that way, after, I'm not trying to do a bike ride at, you know, by myself at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I can come home and spend time with my girlfriend, or do a walk like you're saying with her and the dog, and like just little things. Give myself a little bit of time to live a life, you know, other than dirt bikes.
Yeah, and you can get so, I've been there, where it's like you're waking up at the exact time that you would take, you got 15 minutes to shower and get ready, and then you got time to make a coffee, and then if the fucking coffee machine doesn't have water in it, and then there's no milk in the like,
Yes.
you can just get so cooked
Yep.
because you just chose to sleep in that little bit
Yep.
extra, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I just same alarm every day, 7 days a week.
I like that quiet time in the morning myself, to be honest. You know, even if Ashley comes downstairs and sit on the couch, I make her coffee every morning normally and set it on the counter, but I kind of like just doing my own thing.
Bro,
Yeah.
exactly the same, eh?
And then if I do, like you said, if there's something that messes my time up by just this much, I'm out of schedule.
Yeah.
I'm like, man.
But if you've given yourself enough time,
Yes.
like it doesn't happen as easily.
Yeah.
You know, if you get up super early and
Yeah.
do your thing. I've been journaling in the morning for basically this whole year. I used to read every morning
Yep.
for an hour a day, and then I just slowly
Yep.
you get busy, you move away from things, and then I was like, all right, this year I'm actually going to write instead of
Yep.
read. But dude, like just that little bit of time, all the thoughts that are going on, just
Yep.
put them down onto a page. It's just random as shit, and then the feeling, like I feel fresh
Yes.
after it, you know, because
I
it's
understand
like cleans the
100%.
slate in a way, you know.
Even with me, I don't really do, it is a journal, but my calendar, I write down little details of what I do all day. And if I miss that for a week, I feel lost.
Yeah.
A little bit. And then I go back to
yeah.
my calendar, I fill it back in, I'm like, oh, I feel better again.
Yeah.
Even though I miss a week, it's weird. And then I will write down notes on how days went on either my phone or things. You know, that's stuff I really enjoy doing because you take acknowledgement to how you felt and what you went through, and you get to check boxes because I'm so busy, just like you probably are. When you go back and look through your calendar and see what you did, it's like, dude, I've done a lot.
That's actually a good point, eh? Like, I don't know if you ever feel like this, but I definitely feel like I'm unproductive, even though I'm probably one of the more productive people.
Oh, I criticize myself pretty bad about that.
That's one good thing about writing a lot of stuff down, though,
Yes.
is that you kind of can't, at least for me, I can like write down what I'm doing, what I'm up to,
Yep.
and look back at the end of the day and be like, I still have that feeling like, oh, fuck, I'm just barely
Yes.
getting anything done. And I look back, I'm like, nah, pretty good.
Yes.
Like, you actually kind of...
Yes.
You
I'm the
did a
same
bit.
way. I'm the same way. It almost, even when I'm, like you said, I could be wide open all week. I'm like, I feel like I didn't really do that much this week. And then I go back and look at the calendar. I'm like, dude, I
Yeah,
had a big week.
Yeah.
And then honestly, not traveling to the races as much this year. Last year I didn't travel as much either. It's been nice to have like normal life weekends as well. And then this summer it looks like I might go to most of the races. But honestly, getting back in the travel routine, dude, I'm like, this was harder than I thought. Like I just did Salt Lake. I did, Philly, Salt Lake, and Denver. And I'm like, dude, I forgot how hard this is. It's not easy.
Crazy, dude.
Yes.
When you think about it.
Not easy.
The travel that goes along with the sport is pretty wild.
It's almost worse, I feel like, when you're not racing, though.
Really?
Yeah, but I think that's because when you're racing, you're so selfish, you know?
Yeah.
But you have to be. I mean, that's part of it.
And you probably just you don't have to be accountable for as many things.
Yes.
Like, yes, you've got this one massive thing that you need to be hyper accountable for,
Yep.
but you can be very selfish and cancelling and deleting every other thing. And people get it. They're like, yeah, you do you, bro. You've got to focus on yourself. But
Yes.
in the position you're in, you're probably accountable to like so many different people.
Well, and like, it's just, it's not just for you, which obviously has value to it too, because I think as humans, we like to give people whatever we can, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's part of life, like giving others advice or just helping others, not necessarily, you know what I mean? Just holding, just being that good person for someone. Like, I thrive in that environment.
Which is probably why you are enjoying the coaching. Can you plug the lappy in? It's about to... Thank you. Which is probably why you're enjoying the coaching
For
role
sure.
as much as you are.
Well, like I said, I wanted to approach this differently. Like, I didn't want to just send them a program and you know, and then we can kind of hit back on reading books. Like, you brought up a good point there, and it's actually something I want to, you know, especially with Aiden, I want to work with him maybe on some of these books. Aiden Zing.
Yeah.
Yep. I started helping him as well. So That's been awesome. He just got his license. Like, he meets me at the track by himself, puts up his easy up. Like, it's awesome just to see a kid, at that age
Becoming
driving.
a man.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So
I'm excited to announce our new partnership with the leaders in custom eyewear, sportrx.com. I've had to wear glasses since I was a kid, and my whole life the process of getting custom glasses made was just a hassle. Not only this, I've never experienced what it was like to do all of the activities I love with perfect vision, but that is a thing of the past. SportRx's whole goal as a company is to make sure that vision never keeps you from doing what you love, and I can safely say that they have completely changed the game for me. SportRx crafts your eyewear not only for your optimum prescription, but also for your sport, the environment, conditions, and specific lighting. I now have glasses for running, for mountain biking, for golf, and I now have glasses for my Oakley Air Brake motocross goggles. Look at these bad boys. The process of getting my glasses made and delivered was extremely simple, and the emphasis that the team at SportRx put on quality and customer satisfaction is second to none. They even offer a free remake and return policy if you're not completely satisfied. Every now and again, something comes along that completely blows my mind, and SportRx has done that. You'll see me wearing a host of new glasses if you follow the podcast, and you can be sure that they were crafted by the team at SportRx. Head to sportrx.com or click the link in the description to find out more.
there's some books that actually made a big impact on the pivotal years of my racing, and Charles Dow actually is one of the guys that actually gave me the book.
Yeah, you trained with Charles, eh?
Yeah. In 2010, I trained with Charles, and then in 2011, him and I stopped working together, and then I went to Johnny Louch. But dude, his mental side of things that he introduced me to, some of it was really, really good. I mean, there was a book, I think it's called 10-Minute Toughness, maybe Jason Selk, I could be wrong, but it's a really good book. And when I read that book, success came.
Really?
And I did, it brought good things.
No way.
And then I tapped into it again after I broke my back and redid it. Basically, it kind of reset, and it's pretty cool. So looking back on that. So reading, I think, is very important. Obviously the people you're around is important. I mean, everything is important, like you're saying.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's just not surprising that so many people have books that change their perspective, and it's the most underrated thing of all time.
Yeah.
I would be way fucking dumber
Yes.
than what I am if I didn't read as many books as I have in my life. And there's some key ones that just change your perspective. And I've said it so many times, but it's we're cursed to be stuck with our own perspective and the way we see the world and our life experiences and what's happened to me and my lens. We all look at the world through our own lens, right?
Yes.
And when you read a book, you're literally looking at the world through another person's perspective.
Yep.
You're just getting given this alternate perspective. And if you're the kind of person that has got a book published and it's sold enough copies to where it's found you,
Yep.
and it's a prominent, well-featured book, it's probably written by someone with a really fucking great perspective on
Yes.
life. And that's a gift. It's a crazy, crazy gift to just have somebody hand you this perspective that's arguably better than your own, or even if it's not better,
Yes.
it's another layer that you can add on. And some stuff you just can't unlearn it. It's when you figure out 2 + 2 = 4.
Yep.
At no point in your life could anyone ever convince you that
No.
it equals 5.
Yes.
There's a level of understanding that
Yeah.
you can't unsee, and I think that great books do that for you.
Yeah, books, to me, it's hard to read. It is. I struggle with it, but when I do it, it's very valuable. You're saying.
Do you ever do audiobooks?
Yeah, I do, because I drive a lot, obviously,
Yep.
going to the tracks, especially now with the traffic the way it is. To me, sometimes hour 45 to Glen Helen sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on the traffic. So If I'm feeling like I want to hear some good stuff, I'll throw on a podcast or listen to a book or audio, or whatnot. Normally, my driving isn't music anymore like it used to be. It's because I'm,
Yeah, you're trying to learn.
I mean, sometimes I think it's just a mood. It's weird. You know how people say it's always the mood you're in, whatever music you listen to. Now, sometimes my mood is to listen to someone talk about their experience training or doing things, and I think that opens up other avenues for yourself to see it.
Yeah, and I think, especially the young kids that you're working with, it's just like the generation has just gone so away from that. And it's just like the young kids, and I see it all the time. It's just like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, like the amount of fucking hours that you can delete from your life. Like Alex at work for me.
Yep.
Fucking love the kid. He's worked for me since he was 16, 17, right? And then there'd be times where it's like his screen time is just ridiculous. And I'm like, bro, this is like thousands of hours a year of just brain rot that you're just consuming fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
You have one life.
Yeah.
You will die in 70 years probably.
Yeah.
Like, then it's over.
Yep.
The fuck are you doing on your phone for this long?
I mean, even for me, like I have a timer set on mine restriction, but sometimes I cancel it out. It's like 15 minutes a day for social media.
Really?
But I do want to grow more on my social platforms. I want to work on that. I want to do some more media stuff. I want to do all that stuff because it's valuable to me as a person and an athlete. But I don't know how people stay on their phone that long. I don't know how. Like, I've really worked on it because it bugs me when I see kids on their phone all the time. Like maybe sometimes me at the track, like, dude, I get dressed. It's probably a bad thing sometimes. Like if someone called me as an emergency, I wouldn't even know until I left the track because I don't touch my phone. Yeah. Everyone else at the track
just on
it the whole time. And then even if I go to bed, get upstairs, go to bed 8:30, try to get off my phone before I get in bed and wake up in the morning and I got 50 shared memes or something on Instagram, so like it's just gnarly. Like I enjoy doing it, we all do, but like it doesn't have value to me to do that. So
and I
guess I would say I put a boundary up.
And I mean there's going to be a point in life where like you just never do it again. Like you'll just never use social media again.
There probably will be.
For sure. You'll just be like you still plan on using Instagram at 80 or 75 years old? Like probably not.
No.
And then it's like, imagine if someone at that time, imagine like the last time you log out. And then someone goes, you spent 9,855 hours on this fucking thing. And you're an old man, you just be like, fuck. What I mean, at that point, I would love
to just spend time with family, because at that time, towards that era of your life, like that's the time you want to enjoy it, And I think that's why, like, right now, my age and where I'm at, like, I want to work hard for the next 15, 20 years and see where it takes me. Like, I want to still be involved with motocross as much as I can.
Yeah, well, you're enjoying what you've built, you know what I mean? Like, you had the career that you had, obviously, and then to go into the testing role and the coaching role, like, they're all skills that you've spent your whole lifetime acquiring, and you're still getting to put those skills to use, Well,
and it's a constant learning. It is. It's not the same all the time. It's not a 9-to-5 job where you're doing the same stuff. It seems like it, but if you really want to be, and that's my goal, is to be something that's continually growing, because then I can continually grow with my athletes. And I think that's very important. Very important.
So we'll go back to where were we at? Like 08, 09?
Yeah, 09 when I started with Rhino.
So that's where we started. So was Star like pretty much ahead of its time even back then, do you think? And they just didn't have like the funding and infrastructure? Like, could you see some thinking from the team that was like kind of outside the box for the time?
Well, I knew they were going, because each year they were going in a direction to beat, at that time, Pro Circuit and Geico. You could see it, and I got their first win in 2010, and then I went to Pro Circuit in 11. Well, they didn't stop working. I don't know if you remember Sipes in 11 and 12 was unbelievable.
He was Supercross. Good, eh?
So like Brad was over there, Bobby was over there, and you could just tell they were going that direction. Obviously, the first win for me and the team there in Seattle in 2010 helped.
Damn, so you were Star's first win.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Pretty cool.
Can you look that up? Go go Seattle 2010. What's that? Just Google images. Go Seattle 2010 250
Track
Supercross.
was so gnarly.
Dude,
do you remember?
It just always is. I would remember if I saw it.
Literally, the whoops were.
Go images.
You'll see right here probably. Look at the ruts.
Oh,
that's
wow.
me in front of him right there, actually. Or no, that's Tommy Hahn. But that was like a rhythm section before the triple, so that's the triple face on the.
Dude, that is insane. Go all the way back up to the top. Go all the way back up. Go that top left there. That's it. First win.
Yeah, so there's Dave Feeney, first win for the team. Eric Gass, the truck driver, and Brad.
Wow, dude. That's honestly insane.
And then look at the picture below that. I think it was maybe me doing. I think was that over the finish line?
Go
scroll
down a tiny
I think
bit.
I'm doing a no footer, having some fun.
Go the one
Yeah.
left there, Supercross Seattle Race Report. See, go right. No. Go back. It's all right.
Yeah, I was doing like a no footer. You see that? I think I rolled the finish line and just did a no footer off the landing. I think.
Huge celebration.
Yes. Yeah.
What was that night like? Do you remember?
Dude, it was so easy. I mean, the track was so gnarly. Like, you watch it. I watched it recently. I'm like, dude, you could barely even double the jumps.
Maybe go to YouTube and try and find it. We should be able to find that.
And I had like a little gap too. Like, I was able to like just keep it there the whole time. Will Hahn, I think, got second that night. And he was on up and coming around that time too. So like him and I kind of progressed at the same level.
At the same time. Yeah.
Because both of us had, I think, offers from Pro Circuit for 2011 and 2012.
Really?
Yeah. So I got offered a Geico deal.
Yeah.
While I was talking to Pro Circuit, but I wanted to be at Pro Circuit.
Yeah.
And then he got the Geico ride, and he was also talking to Pro Circuit. So it was like we were the guy to go somewhere. So.
That's insane. So
look at the.
Go to prop into.
Look at the whoops.
Whoa, dude.
He's winning right now.
K-Dub?
Yeah.
Did it? It obviously rained before this.
Yes, but the dirt was like that. They changed it, I want to say, in like 2013 or something. But, dude, the dirt, it was so bad. Like, look how big that rut is. His foot peg can't even double that double.
Dude, that's wild.
And I was good in that condition. So, like, that came easy to me, to be honest.
Why were you good in those conditions? Just
I think being from North Carolina, we had clay, sand. In the winter, rain. Just normal conditions. So, yeah. I just was good in the ruts. Like, if I knew it was going to be a rutty national, I knew I was going to be good.
That's so
And if it was hot. For some reason, when it was hot, I had some extra confidence. I don't know where that came from, but people would be complaining about it, and I'd be like, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you just like to suffer, right?
Yeah.
Could you tell that when you were in those group training sessions with Rhino that you were just like, you knew that you had a bit of an extra gear training-wise?
I recognize it now. But I would say, look, then I didn't recognize it, But if I look back, I see it. Like, I was motivated I would call it take the screwdriver and twist it a little bit. If I had an opportunity to, I wanted to. That's kind of what I would do.
And that would just give you the extra mental confidence going into the weekends?
Yeah, and then, honestly, if it was hot, it's weird. Like, I knew that I was stronger than everyone else. And the people I was racing, at least at the time. And I wasn't winning, but, the guys I was around from, anywhere from 4 to 10, like that competitive group there, I knew if it was going to be hot, I could beat them all. I knew my speed might not be as good as some of them, but I knew if it was hot, I could pass them. I knew it. Yeah. Just weird, yeah.
Just years of doing it, too.
Yeah. Even though Bud's Creek and Red Bud were pretty hot for me, even second moto at Red Bud, I tapped into that again. Like, I'm like, wow, I'm back here again. Like, I was impressed actually that I was able to push to the level I did because of just not racing. Like, the second moto, I pushed really, really hard to finish where I did. Like, I buried myself. But
what year was this?
Last year.
Yeah. What did you finish last year?
I got 8th overall at Budds Creek. First one I got 13th at Red Bud, but that was getting my feet wet again, and I feel like a fish out of water, if you want to be completely honest.
Yeah, I bet, dude.
Yeah. It was 4 years since I raced a national and 3 years since I raced a race, other than Glen Helen last year. So
that's a long time to be out of the game.
No, and like everybody at the track's like, oh, why don't you race more? I want to, but I don't want to. I know me. I know me. I need to be committed fully.
Yeah.
And that's what I did last year. I became Broc the Racer again, you know? And I really like that, but that time has come to an end. Like, it's time for me to, you know, grow outside of that.
Yeah.
And
because that's like almost a comfort zone in a way, right?
100%. You shut everything off and you go train and you get focused on, it's just an automatic switch. Like, you could switch it back on at any time. So like, I just know how critical I am of myself and the commitment that I have to be happy. I need to be full in. And I can't just race. You know what I mean? I could have raced this weekend at Paula probably and done okay. Like, when I say that, I could be around, I would say around 12th, 10th, maybe. But people are like, why don't you do it? I'm like, I just don't want to. Like, I'm putting my energy into others, the bikes. I'm focusing on the things that I need to keep growing myself for the future.
Yeah.
Because if I go back to racing, I feel like I'm putting the pause button on again. And that ship's sailed. Like, I'm not going to make more money racing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to be happier racing because there's not going to be a ride for me. You know what I mean? All the above.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, it just makes sense.
It's funny, like, I just had a thought that I probably haven't had in that perspective before. Like, so many guys would struggle to give it up because it's so comfortable.
Yeah.
To just, you know, the routine, you get to be so selfish, you get to just go all in on yourself.
Yep.
So many other things in your life can fall by the wayside. You've got other people there to pick up those pieces. Like, you're very insulated.
Yep.
It's like that time in the morning to yourself, right?
Yep.
That feels good.
Yes.
Because you're insulated and it's very controlled.
Yep.
And you're doing your own thing. As a racer, your life is kind of that.
Yes.
You can set your life up to where you just don't have to take on any of the outside things that you don't want to.
Yeah, you can ignore a lot of things, like you're saying, 100%. When you're racing, like, I think that's something too I think is important, like, being on this side now, like, try not to get the riders that I have to get to that point where that's the only thing they can rely on to be stoked or happy, because, like, it is hard, because that's your identity. You know, when you're racing, that's what you do. That's who everyone knows you as. Like, and I think that's important, is like, you got to know who you are.
Away from that.
Yes, and you don't unless you think about it.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to be like, I'm not worried about that now. I need to focus on racing. That's the easy way out. I think if you can acknowledge that earlier on, they'll have a better career probably, and be happier the whole time. Because I would say a lot of times, even me, like, it's hard when you're not getting the results you want. Like, you just keep burying yourself.
Yeah, the results are tied directly to your happiness.
Exactly. And I think that's
and you can just keep chasing it and
exactly.
chasing it.
It's like an endless game.
Yeah.
And I think it's important try not to be that way. Like, if you gave it your best effort, let's move on and let's keep building.
Yeah. So 2010 or 2011, you get the PC ride.
Yep.
What went into that decision? Just always a dream to ride the Pro Circuit bike?
I knew I was missing something, and I knew they had it. Because at that time, I mean, PC was the team to be on.
The PC.
The team.
Yeah.
And Star offered me a really good deal to stay. And from, I want to say, for maybe 30 to 40 days, I went into Mitch's office every day. Every day. If I would go in the morning and they're like, oh, he's not here yet, I'd go home, come back in the afternoon. get even days like that, get there. I'm like, hey, I'm here to see Mitch. Who are you? I'm Broc Tickle. I want to talk to him about a ride for next year. Oh, sorry. He said not right now. Right now is not a good time. Drive all the way back home. But he loved that. Mm-hmm. He loves it. But that's what I wanted. I knew if I went there, it would bring me to where I want to go, and it did.
Fuck, that's such a sick story.
Yeah, even when I first got on the bike, I was like, it was good. Like, it was better than what I was on, obviously. But, like, I just felt so confident. And I think it's because I set myself up by committing to it, you know, early on. Like, those 30 days of me going in, it's hard to tell someone to do that.
Mm.
To me, I was going to do it. I got told, you need to show him that you want it. And each race that year, if I was around a PC guy, I had an extra level to push to find. If I was slower than him, I'd find a way to pass at least one of them. So, like, it motivated me. It did.
So you almost, like, manifested that ride for yourself.
100%. And I really, like, after the first win, like, in 2010, like, before that, I didn't see myself being able to win a race. There's a lot of, yeah, for some reason. There was something that clicked between the end of 2009 and I think it was because of 2009 was so successful. Like, I really was really good in 2009, and I was like, I made a big step this year, like, legitimately. And the next year, obviously, getting my first win, I saw myself do it. Mm. It wasn't, oh, I don't think I can do that. I did do it. And then after that, I won. I didn't win very much in 2011, but I was competitive. Won Oakland, and that was it.
So gnarly, dude. It's so gnarly to, like, will your way onto that team and to just do, like, you weren't a winning guy, and it's like for season after season after season of not winning, to just, like, keep chipping away, like, just, I feel like it doesn't happen that much these days.
No, I would, like, get pictures together of people on the podium and then visualize myself as that person. I did, like, stuff like that all the time. And I think that for me was huge, seeing myself do it, because I had that doubt, and the only way to get rid of that doubt, that, you know, was to do that. Like, some people, it just comes naturally. It does. But I think, like, you know, like Deegan and those guys, like, I think it's just natural. You know what I mean? It is.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it wasn't natural. Like, I didn't believe in myself. I didn't. For real. I knew I was good, but I'm like, I don't think I can win. And then for me to get there, it just took a lot of work mentally upstairs to get it.
Why do you think you were so committed to it? Like, if you don't believe in yourself and if you don't think you can do it, why keep doing it?
I think I knew inside I could, but I was setting myself back, you know, by thinking I couldn't do it. I don't know. It's weird. Your mind's funny sometimes.
It's almost like a protective mechanism.
100%. Because then if I was expected to win,
you'd be let down.
Yeah. But now I won when I was expecting to be top 5's good. So it's a different, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And so
there were some restrictions there, though. You know, in my career, I look at it, I'm like, man, I was
holding myself back.
I just didn't believe myself like I should have. Yeah. Because I worked harder than most people around me. I have good speed. So, like, I don't regret any of it, but I look back and I'm like, I don't want to see somebody else do this.
Yeah. And that race in 2010 was almost just like the perfect race for you. Like you said, that one just came
it was like butter.
Easy.
Yeah.
So you needed that to then just, like, validate all of those thoughts.
Yeah. And then I would say also in 2011, that came down to the last race, and I watched the race on YouTube probably, I don't know, 4 months ago, and I'm anxious watching it. But I remember the race. I can visualize it, me in the moment, and how I was thinking. I was so calm. It's the weirdest thing. Like, when I watch it on YouTube, I literally get anxiety.
What race was it?
2011 Las Vegas Supercross.
Type in 2011.
East-West Shootout or whatever.
Yeah, 2011 Las Vegas 250 Supercross.
It's the
So
gnarliest
this was when
race.
you won the
Me and
title.
Tomac were 2 points apart going into the last race, and it was a so we had to beat each other, and we started 9-10, I think. We had Cunningham. It's just it's that right there.
Yeah, play that.
It's so
Play the volume too.
yeah, it's so cool. It gives me look at like all those people right there.
So who's Tomac in front? No, is that Barsha?
That's Barsha.
Yeah.
Then Sipes, Seeley, Davalos. Wait, is this? Yeah, see, where am I? Oh no, this is this is the East-West shootout race. So it was the one its own main event. So West main event is what you want to look for.
Type in West Coast main event.
So this race, it was after my race.
Yes.
So this one I literally.
You're just like.
I had so much energy.
We'll get that one. West Coast.
The one below it.
Down. Yeah, that one. No. Is that one?
That's that one, but it would be. Is that the whole season though?
Dude, the man.
Yeah, he was good that year.
Yeah.
I mean, he was good all the time, but that
Maybe
year
go
was
right towards the end of this.
Yeah, it will be the last bit of this video probably.
Keep going.
I think that's.
Nah, keep going a little bit.
This is Seattle. Yeah, it should be right here.
Yeah. There. I know, he's so young, eh?
It's crazy, huh? So
Yeah.
Kenny wins his first main.
Yep.
But look at this group of us. So Tomac's right in front of me.
So you needed to pass Eli to get the championship.
Yes.
And you were pretty calm through this.
Yes. And a lot of stuff happens. Like Cunningham passes me. So then I wasn't even freaking out, dude.
Dude, he almost ran into the back of you.
I landed on him on the last, or he jumped on the back of me.
This is insane.
Look at, this is cluster.
Yeah. Of really fast guys. Dude, this is crazy. Not even jumping the fucking triple.
Yeah, and then I got passed again, you know what I mean?
This is insane. Dude, Cunningham was so fast on his day.
And look how far back I am here. I still wasn't panicking.
Really?
Yes. But see all this cat and game, or,
Yeah.
they were all messing around. I was able to catch back up.
Wow, dude.
I'm not even in the picture right now. Watch Cunningham.
Oh. Tomac's trying to race for a title and Cunningham is just a loose.
Right here is the pass. And that's it. Watch my head shake right here.
No, dude.
It was muddy right there. See how close he was to me there too?
Yeah,
Watch this too. I got Seeley.
Unreal.
And then I land on Cunningham right here. You'll see when it pans. See?
Oh. So you're just charging towards the front.
It's the last lap.
Wow, bro.
Pretty cool.
That is insane, bro.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
I forgot about that race.
Yeah, and it was, like I said, I watch that and I get like anxious.
And you remember being calm.
Yes. Like, you got this. Even with all this stuff happening. Like, even me losing, like, if I was to watch that now, I'm like, you don't have it. You know what I mean? Like, you're losing ground. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But it's cool to watch.
That's so wild. I wonder what Tomac's experience of that would have been. I wonder how he felt in that moment.
Dude, he after about round 3, dude, in the series, he started gaining. He learned really quick.
Was that his first year?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, he ended up being pretty good.
Yes. Unreal. So, like, it's just cool to look back on. cool to see him still racing too. I actually enjoy seeing him on the track and being competitive. Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
How old were you when you won that title?
21. So I was 5 years in on lights.
Yeah.
So
that would have been a huge night in Vegas for you.
Yeah, it was. The monster, I obviously always took care of us there. And I wish we had get-togethers like that after Supercross still, though.
It's done, eh?
Yeah, I think it's
We were
awesome.
the last era, bro.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, everyone got suit and tie, got dressed up, good food, a little banquet.
Yeah, did the banquet
get
thing.
Some awards. Like, it was cool for the sport, I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it's like nobody really does that. And I think it brings everybody together. And no matter if so there's a lot of people that probably don't like each other or get along, but it's a way for like you to spend time with them and be part of something you guys enjoy.
I wish they still did it too.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Cool. So, but we don't go Vegas. I guess we'll go for SMX, but it's not the same anymore.
Nah, it's so
it's not
different.
the same. Salt Lake City is not Vegas whenever we used to race,
Yeah, and like that whole generation, the party generation's just gone too.
Yes, it's
like,
gone.
It used to be wild.
Yes.
Like, especially,
It's kind of like a program. Like, if you did good, you were going out after, It's kind of how it was.
Yeah.
Nowadays, like, you can't do it in race. You can't.
Yeah, I remember you even used to have some pretty good parties at your house.
Yeah, had a couple.
A couple Halloween parties.
Yeah, and after last National Elsinore 2012,
yes,
I had like 60 people at my house. Yeah, it was hectic.
That's so
hectic.
Bygone generation.
No, I think too, like, because I didn't party or do anything when I was a kid at all. Like, first time I drank was like, I think I was 20, maybe 20. So like,
played a bit of catch up.
Yeah, I caught up. I found it. So yeah, it's been cool. My experience over the last, I don't know, 4 years since I guess honestly since 2019, life's been like, it's cool because I've learned a lot. I've been challenged a lot, and then to see me still here and doing good things, I'm stoked about it.
Yeah, did you think when you went through everything that it would end up like that?
I could definitely see it going not the
different way.
It could have easily.
Yeah.
I could have easily, when I got suspended, being like, F this, I'm out.
Yeah.
No, I got some help from some people, getting a bike, and Mark from now that owns AEO or the REP suspension. Like, dude, I was at the track riding, training. I was around, the people I needed to be.
Yeah.
And that was a hard time in my life too. Like, I was getting challenged from personal stuff and from racing.
Yeah.
So like at that time I did the right thing. I could have easily gone down a
It
bad
is
path.
true. It is true, man. Like, you were married and you had like a bunch of shit all kind of going down at that same time, and you could have been pretty bitter, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely had some days for sure, we all do, but it's the experiences that we go through and challenges we get faced with that make us who we are. So like, I think accepting challenges and challenging times of your life is important. It's really important because everyone goes through it.
Yeah.
Everyone. You're not the only one. It's not poor you in any situation, Everybody goes through stuff.
So what happened with the suspension? Like, have you spoke much about it?
Yeah, look, I mean, I've done a lot of interviews about it, and like, it's just tough because I got tested in February, which would have been I think it was February 10th or something.
Who were you riding for at the time?
KTM. And I just started getting going.
Yeah.
Like, I literally I was at the peak of my 450 career.
Really?
Yes. I think the races prior to that were like 6, 5, 4, and then like I was chipping away at it. And this race I got 5th at. That was February 10th. I didn't get notified until May that I failed. No, it was into April that I failed. I was actually getting on a plane to go to Minneapolis to race. Got an email from WADA and FIM, like, you're suspended. And I was on the plane with Roger, and I showed him, like, he's like, let's go to the race still. We'll talk to AMA when we get there and FIM, and we'll figure it out. Well, from that point until, dude, it was 6 months before I heard anything. So the first thing I did when I got home, I actually flew home that night. So I didn't even get to practice, obviously. Saturday I flew home, Monday morning, I found a supplement testing place in Yorba Linda somewhere that does that type of stuff. So I brought in everything I was taking. But remind you that this was, let's see, 2 months after I got tested. So the batch numbers, I don't know. I mean, I spent, it was like $10,000 to get my shit tested.
No.
It wasn't cheap. And I went there on Monday, and then they're like, yeah, nothing here is cross-contaminated. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then I didn't have much communication with WADA over the next like 6 months. And then finally, I want to say it was like 9 months came. So that way, once I knew how long I was going to be suspended, I think it was right around the 10-month range, I found out that I was going to be suspended for 2 years. So it was a blessing, actually, when I look back on it, because I believe I didn't do anything wrong. I believe that I wasn't intentionally trying to do anything or take anything I wasn't supposed to. I trained my ass off that whole time. And me not knowing for 10 months was a good thing.
If you knew day one that it was 2 years,
I probably would have, bye.
Yeah.
I'm out. But it kept me in the loop. It kept me hungry. And so, yes.
Because you had a little bit of hope.
Yes, I had hope.
It was false hope, but you had hope.
But then at the 10-month mark, I'm like, I made it this far already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I would have found that 2 years right away, it would have been way harder.
Because you really only had a year and 2 months.
Yeah. So it was kind of gnarly.
So what was it that you ended up getting popped for?
5-methylhexamine, 2-amine. So it's like found in pre-workouts. So it's similar to the compound that I think Christian got in trouble with. But basically, yeah, it's found, if you look it up, most of the time it's found in pre-workouts.
Were you taking pre-workout back then?
I mean, I was on the Mind Effects and a group of supplements that I got through a doctor in Florida, through Aldon. And none of it was bad. Like, I look at it now and I'm like, none of this is bad. You know what I mean? So, like, it's just hard to look at. But honestly, it's a blessing because it set me up to be in the position I am now.
Yeah.
If that suspension wouldn't have happened, I don't know where I'd be. That suspension set me up to come back to racing, to see. Honestly, when I came back, I wanted to come back and pick up where I left off, but it wasn't as easy as that. It's not. And I didn't have the same group of people around me, which, at that time was a big deal. I was getting pushed. I mean, honestly, I was pretty miserable in 2018, if you want to be honest. I was under, I felt like, a lot of pressure with the team, and then I felt like I was never good enough, to be honest, but I was performing. So now it was a lesson to be learned, though. I look back on it, I'm like, this is a cool story because I was miserable, but my results were good.
What were your results? You were like top 5 pretty much, right?
Yeah, like A1, I think I got 9th, but I think I was chipping away at 5th in the championship in Supercross when I got suspended. Yeah. I was within 6 points or so, and I was building up to that. So I would say I would probably be close to 5th in points if I would have been able to finish the season. And I missed a podium opportunity in Indy. I cut down in a rut, and Dean went tight, and we collided, and I missed the podium. But at the end of the day, I was in second place the whole race. So, I knew I was on my way. So, in the next race, I got 4th. And then I got suspended. So, it's hard to look at it that way, but it's cool. It's awesome. I had a good experience, even though it was challenging.
How was the experience of WADA and, the appeals and the process? Is it a pretty terrible experience to go through?
It was pretty bad for me. I would send an email, and I wouldn't get an email back for months. I felt like a piece of dirt because I'm like, well, you know what I mean? I'm like, what's the deal here? I'd rather them, at the time I was frustrated because I just want to know the answer, but like I said, me not knowing for 10 months was a good thing when I look at it now.
Yeah, but that whole process, it always seemed so, it was very frustrating as a fan, the James thing.
Yep.
It's okay, he had a prescription for it, didn't fill out properly. There should be some checks and balances in place to make sure that the best guys in the sport aren't getting completely fucked.
Basically protected. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't feel protected by by the organization at all. I feel like they should. Like, you know, and I think there are instances where maybe it could be the other way. Like, if someone's intentionally doing shit and knows it, like, and they catch them red-handed, it's like, well, yeah, but still, I still think it should be black and white, and they should be able to work with you.
Yeah, and I wonder, I mean, I guess I don't know too much about it all, but it's like the whole innocent until proven guilty thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it just really seems it's just like, hey, done, guilty,
Yep.
here's the sentence,
Yep.
see you in 2 years, fuck off.
Yeah, I think the new program in place is a lot better from what I understand.
Yeah, do you know what even is in place these days?
It's someplace, I believe, out of Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. And they work with guys. Like, I've heard good things about it. Like, if they even have a question about, like, with the way it was before with WADA, like, for me, like, it's like, I don't even feel welcome enough to ask them questions because the way they handled my situation, you know what I mean? Because the way they even spoke to me at the hearing and all this, like, it was pretty gnarly.
So you ended up having
I felt like I killed someone. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I did.
Yeah, I bet.
Like that, because it was no justification on my behalf at all. And I was just like, well, I can't change the way they think about it or run their business. I just need to move on and keep trucking.
So you had a hearing?
Yes.
Where was that?
It was over the phone on, I was supposed to go over there, which I think Christian did.
To Switzerland?
Yes. Or
Yeah.
no, it was, yes, maybe Switzerland. I can't remember exactly where it was, but yeah, I did a hearing over Zoom. So it's pretty gnarly.
And what are they just like?
I mean, it was just like, you're exactly what you said. You're not innocent. You're not. It was in your system. You failed. This is what you're getting.
Do you know the amount?
That's the other thing. I was like, is there a way you guys can tell me how much it was? Is there like a buffer on what's acceptable and what's not? Like, nothing. I didn't even feel comfortable enough to ask them, where do you think this comes from? I had to do all my own research, you know?
Fuck.
Yeah.
That to me is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it
was hard.
I don't think that is how athletes should be treated.
No.
But I think that a lot of people have gone away from WADA.
Oh, for sure. I think it's good for our sport to do their own thing, that they have somewhat control over what happens to the athlete. And you know what I mean? It just makes it fair.
Yeah.
And we don't want to see an athlete disappear. We don't want that. We want them racing.
Yeah.
Everyone does make mistakes, even if they took something on purpose, you know, ultimately.
Yeah.
Like, or the James thing, we know he had a prescription. It's like, he wasn't doing it to try to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that wasn't the advantage
Yes.
in his program.
And in my I guess in my experience too, like, the mental side of things matters more than anything. So, like, honestly, the stuff that people would take to cheat, I don't think it's not the game changer. You know what I mean? Your mental side and how hard you work is more so where it comes from at the end of the day.
Yeah. What do you think that there's guys that are still doing it now?
I don't. I mean, I can't. Maybe. There's probably guys, privateers probably doing it. Probably. I mean, honestly, I have no idea. But
yeah, I wonder what I just wonder what the testing. It's just not really spoken about. It's not really.
They haven't said much the last couple of years, have they?
Nah.
Yeah, I just heard it's going well. I know that they got tested last year, a couple of races. MXGP still uses WADA, huh?
I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But yeah, it used to be pretty consistent where we got tested. High Point was always a race, it seemed like, for outdoors. But I know the protocol that, like, Jason was on when he was at Aldon's at first was ridiculous.
In what way?
Like, he was on the program where they could call him and they needed to know where
Olympic
he was. Yes.
testing. Yeah.
They, like, hey, I'm going to be at your house in 30 minutes to test you. It's like,
yeah, and if you
live a
miss
normal
it
life.
2 or 3 times, then it's like an automatic failure.
Yes. Yeah. So it's kind of gnarly, huh? Like, I just think it's over the top.
It seems crazy as well. Like, in the legal system, you have, like, the police, and then they're one thing.
Yeah.
And then you have a jury that
Yep.
gets selected. They're the ones that decide if you're guilty.
Yep.
Then you have a judge that kind of adjudicates the whole process. You have a prosecutor. So you have, like, all these different people
Yep.
that are involved to, like, get a person to a guilty verdict.
Yes.
And the thing I never liked about WADA and that whole world is it's like judge, jury, executioner.
Yes.
One place, one door.
Yep.
They can just fuck you.
Yep.
And that was their incentive.
Motocross is not the only sport where it's gone bad either.
Oh, no.
No, there's a million stories online.
Yeah. Yeah, they were like big in the UFC.
Yep.
Then the UFC ended up clipping them. The thing with our sport is because the risk of injury is so high, and you're not physically hurting anybody. Like in MMA, right?
Yep.
Like you're punching a dude. So if you're taking steroids, and if you're then your sport is about inflicting damage.
Yes.
On another person. But we don't have that in our sport. It's like you're not physically hurting other people, but your risk of being physically hurt and like life-threateningly hurt, like you can die just from having a fucking helmet on for 35 minutes at Budds Creek in the summer.
Yep.
But you're not allowed IVs. You're like, so our sport, it kind of seems a little strange to have the level of rules that we have, you know, especially with the risk of injury, the risk of dehydration, the risk of death from dehydration. Like, but it's a slippery slope, because then when do you stop? What should be allowed? I think it
would be hard, right? Because at the end of the day, it is us racing dirt bikes, and that's how it got originated too. So like, it kind of takes the story away from it if you start making it. But that's what everything's doing, though. I mean, you look at NASCAR, you know, everything's.
What are they doing?
Well, not that, just like they're controlling more things in the sport, you know?
Yeah.
And I like the part of motocross, like where there's not that, you know? Like, and they are creeping up on controlling more things, but I like the raw part of it, you know? The one thing that I would always think of as well, and maybe it was when you got popped for it, or someone, that I ended up saying like, all right, so what happens? Let's say you go out, win the race, but you're running a 270 kit. What happens? Like, and they find out. Oh, I mean, you just get disqualified. Yeah.
So what would be more impactful? So that's cheating, right?
Yes.
So you go run a 270 kit.
Yeah.
Obviously cheat.
Yeah.
And win the moto based on having a cheater bike, right?
Yeah.
Disqualified one race, go back, change your bike, see if Moto 2. Or you might get disqualified from the whole weekend.
Yeah.
But you have small amount that they can't even tell you how much you have in your system of a drug that you don't even know what it is, and you have to research and then spend $10,000 testing all of your supplements to see if it's a tainted, and you'll get a 2-year ban.
Yeah.
So that whatever it is that was in your system versus a 270 kit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's kind of gnarly.
What the fuck are we doing?
When you think about it like that, it's a good point to look at.
So it's just like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because one thing is very blatant cheating.
Yep.
With a very clear advantage. And the other is micrograms of something in your system that you don't know what. And there is like a pretty logical explanation for, like, supplements that get tainted all the time. It's like a massive...
It's a pretty big deal.
It's a problem. Like, it's a huge problem. But yeah, and it's like one's 2 years and one's a weekend. Yeah. It's always seemed crazy to me.
Yeah, it was actually tough too, because it seemed like, for me, it was like communication was terrible, and they weren't willing to work with me. But then, and it's nothing against Christian, but like Christian seemed to get out of it, not out of it quick, but it seemed like his communication was better. They got their stuff handled quick, so that kind of frustrated me too, because my case was not handled the same as his.
Was it about the same time?
It was around the same time, yeah.
Was it for the same supplement?
Something similar, I think. I don't know exactly what his was, but it was a stimulant as well.
What was his ban?
I don't even know.
Not 2 years.
It was less than mine.
Wonder if he just had better lawyers.
I don't know. Yeah. See, at the time, I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong, so why do I need a lawyer? You know what I mean? I'm like, and yeah, I just accepted for what it is, because I'm like, I'm not gonna go spend more money. I'm gonna get fired. Like, I mean, I knew it was ahead of me, you know.
And how long did it take for that phone call?
Oh, it was, dude, I was riding the shit out of that bike before every day. Because I would just go ride motocross with Jade. He's my mechanic, and dude, I'd just go smash motos the whole time when I was suspended until I think it was the end of May. It was honestly like a week before that first national.
I know, like, hey, sorry, we need the bike.
But I was feeling so good, though. I don't know. It's so weird how the most challenging times of my career, riding the best I ever had.
Well, it probably comes back to that, just blocking everything out, going into the safe space, controlling the things that you can control, putting in 100% effort.
It's pretty cool to look at, because I know I'd go to Glen Helen and I was just a hammerhead. Like, I still obviously can ride good there, and I put a lot of laps in there, probably more than most. But then I had another level. So
pretty sick. Was the bike good then?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Like in Supercross, I struggled actually a little bit with the bike setup a little bit, because it was just different than what I've ever rode.
Yeah, very different.
Yes, and then motocross, dialed. Like, I felt good. It was pretty soft and lively, but like, I could hit the bumps as hard as I wanted to. I could put the bike wherever I wanted to. Like, I felt really strong on the bike outdoors. So, feel pretty good, like, looking back on it too, like, after that, because then it led me into testing with Mark, and then that led me to JGR, and then I actually tested with Mark on JGR. So, like, all these kind of things kind of, like, happened after this, you know?
So, when you were finishing at KTM, was Mark still at KTM?
Yes. But he left the same...
I was going to say, it was probably right around the same
year.
time, right?
Yeah. He left and started his own business. So, like, he had just a shop in his garage, and TLD at the time let me borrow a 450. That was stock, or just one of their bikes that was just sitting there. And I would go testing with Mark. I'd take my suspension off, go to his house at night, pick it up in the morning, put it on my bike, go to the track, tell him what I felt, then come back to his house, take the suspension off. So we'd do, like, days like that multiple times a week.
That's
so, like, I was learning. So, like, that's what put me where I'm at now, you know?
So you obviously worked with Mark at KTM.
Yep.
And then when he left, that's when you started working with him.
Yep.
How involved in, like, testing were you? Obviously, everyone has to test, and it's like a thing as a rider. But how were you at testing at the start? Were you naturally good at testing? Did you get better? Did you have to learn?
This started probably, I would say, when I got to PC. I was with Bones.
You can have that order there. It's yours too.
Yeah, I got Bones was a big help.
Really?
He started it. Because at Star, I just rode my bike.
Yeah.
Like, I could give him comments like, it's not very good today. I feel this, and this, whatever, you know, basic, normal stuff. Then Bones, especially when I got on a 450, and even when I was on the 250, like, I tested for Bones, for the other guys too. Like, if he got new parts, he'd give them to me because no one else wanted to do it. And
Is it because you were around?
Yeah, and I was
wanting to do it.
Yes, I mean, everybody was around at this time at PC, but, like, I was just like, yeah, let's just do it. So, like, I started learning then, getting a feel, and then when we got on the 450 the following year, it was their first time racing a 450. Me, Bones, and Feeney, like, and Aaron Johnson, it was like our little program, you know? So, like, everything we changed was all new. Like, we were building a bike from scratch. PC's real first 450. So, like, and the Air Fork came out then, so obviously that was kind of
big
but we
learning
actually
curve.
It was gnarly though, but I felt so good on that bike. I think if I still rode that bike now, I swear it'd be good.
Really?
I swear it would be good. Like, outdoors, that bike was really good.
What year was that?
12.
12?
Yeah.
Was that
12?
Yeah, okay. So all right, I just want to get back a little bit too.
Yeah.
So what was the call that you got from Mitch to ride PC? Do you remember that phone call?
He called me and said, you need to come in the office. And that was it. Showed up. It's like, here's your contract. So there was nothing that led into it. Like, you know what I mean? It's black and white. Come to the shop. First time he's ever called me and said that. So I knew it was good news.
And what do you remember the contract like?
Yeah. I knew what I was getting anyways, because he told me if it did work out, this is what it was going to look like.
Yeah.
So we had an idea what it was going to be. And then obviously at this time I signed a 2-year deal. But Cowie and Mitch and myself weren't aware that if I won, I couldn't race 250 again. So when I won in 11, I didn't even think about it, but everyone in the paddock's like, yeah, he has to go up to 450 now, so he doesn't have a ride there anymore. So then I started freaking out. And then basically he's like, I'm putting a 450 together for you. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go racing.
What a legend, eh?
So, like, he could have easily, sorry, I can't.
Yeah.
But we did it, and it was awesome. Actually, that summer was really, really good for me, too. I think I got 6 podiums in 2012. Outdoors, I got 2nd overall. I went 2-2 at Budds Creek. Dungey passed me with, like, a lap to go. I almost won a moto at Unadilla. So yeah, a lot of success at Pro Circuit for me.
What was it like working with Mitch?
I was intimidated, to be honest. I was. But, like, it was a good intimidated because I didn't want to disappoint him. Like, he brings off that aura. Like, you don't want to disappoint him. You want to see him smile. Like, that's the way I look at it. Like, you just didn't want to disappoint him. It was almost like a father figure kind of thing.
Yeah,
So,
it makes sense. I totally get that energy.
he was, he was hard on us, but prior to us, I heard he was pretty gnarly, and he's gotten better over the years, but, like, I thought he was great. Like, I got warned, like, hey, he's going to get on your ass if you're not doing a good job. I mean, he'd get on my ass. I mean, we'd come in on Monday nights after Supercross and go in the shop and watch the race over again. When I was on a 450, I was embarrassed in Supercross in the beginning. Like, it was bad. And he had the whole team there. We're all sitting at a table. We're watching me struggle in Supercross, like struggle bad. And we'd watch mine first, so that means all eyes were on me. I'm struggling. He rolls out, goes, I can't watch this shit. He just rolls out. Multiple times he did that.
No way.
Yeah.
And you just got to sit there. Just keep the tape rolling. Just keep looking at the video.
No, and like Dean and I will joke about it now. Like, dude, he even remembers like that year in general, like with me in 12 in Supercross. He's like, dude, I don't know how, that was not easy to watch. He goes, because I couldn't imagine it being me. So like, it's gnarly. But
it's got to be good for you.
No, it was good because it kept me on my. I mean, I was sucking. I mean, I just won a championship the year before, and I was struggling.
Why were you struggling so bad?
Could not find I didn't feel confident to go fast. I don't know why. Maybe it was me learning 450 on Supercross, just in general. I mean, I don't think that transition's easy for anyone, but it was not easy for me. And when I would go to the practice track the first week, I'm like, this is easy. This is sick. Like, I love it. You know what I mean? But I got to the race, and I'm like, whoa, this is hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think even like Prado's probably figuring that out right now. You know, like I watched him on Tuesday at Elsinore, and I was just like, dude, he's fucking good. Like,
yeah.
I mean, obviously he's good, but I'm looking like, dude, he's gonna do well.
Yeah.
And then you get to the race, and it's like 6, 7.
Yeah.
It's just like, there's a difference between practice and racing.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I think for Prado, he has the right tools. He has the right mindset to prosper and grow into a guy who can win races. I believe in that. So, like, there's no worry from my side that that's going to happen. But I think just there's a process.
Exactly. It's
all new for him.
Yeah. There's just a part of making that transition that you just can't skip.
I mean, it's so much change. I mean, you're talking tracks, bike, team, the way we race, like, we only have, 2 15-minute practices and then 2 motos.
Yeah.
For him to learn the track.
Yeah.
And over in Europe, they have, double amount of time before they go racing.
Yeah, long-ass practices.
Yeah.
2 quali races, morning warm-up.
Plus, he's rode all those tracks.
Yeah.
And he knows all those racers.
Yeah.
I mean, he's against all odds at this point, from my point of view, even though we know he's great. Because last year, whenever I was at the tail end of his championship there, he had some fight in him. Those races at the end were unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, and he had to win.
Yes.
It was like must win.
Yes. It's a high-pressure situation, and he rose. So it showed you what he's capable of.
What was his feedback after the weekend? Like, what do you think he struggled with that weekend?
I think with the bike a little bit
Yeah.
and the condition
the bike
of the track.
didn't look good.
Yes, he struggled
Yeah.
a little bit with the feel, which
Yeah.
is I think I expected from us as a team. I think that's normal. I think just not really getting a good feel is what it is. After we work on the feel, inch up on it, it'll be fine.
And so, what are those changes? Like, is it just suspension stuff?
I think most of it will be. He said engine felt good.
Yeah.
So, so I think we work on the chassis this week. The guys will with him and show up next weekend better.
Yeah.
And keep growing. Like, even for how he said he felt, for him to finish where he did, it's really good in my opinion.
He was dejected.
He wasn't even tired because he said he couldn't push.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it's cool to see, but I think he's ready. It was hard for him, like mentally, I could see it. So
Yeah, I walked up. They were doing the podium, and he was just sitting down on like a hay bale type thing, and he actually posted a photo from like right where I saw him. I just gave him a 5. I was like, "Welcome to America, brother."
Yeah.
This is this ain't gonna be easy.
it's exciting too because like he's gonna get to where he wants to go.
For sure.
I know that, but like it's cool that the challenges, you know what I mean? Just
he's gonna
building
have to
into
dig.
it. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
That makes the story better in my eyes.
Yeah.
And then for me, knowing Jason, hasn't had much time on the bike, and for him to come out, and I thought he did awesome. He rode his own race. Like, he wasn't super, super fast, but that wasn't his goal. Like, he wanted to go out and just race and ride his own lines and get better. So it was nice to see him, I guess, having fun racing. I could see he had fun.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah. What do you make of just Parla in general? What we saw out of both classes?
So I don't know if it's maybe the way you think as well. I feel like Paula is very hard to judge a rider and where they're at. The track, I feel like, brings out the worst in a bike. It's challenging from all areas. Either a guy really likes the place and does good there, or he absolutely hates it. It's not like, oh yeah, it's okay. I feel like it's a track someone really, really likes or really doesn't, or gels with, either with their bike or just them in general.
Do you think it didn't look like it got super rough?
It was decent. I thought second moto looked better than first moto because the mud in the middle of the track got cleaned out a little bit, so there was more places to go. I thought, but I actually thought it looked okay. Like for how it's been over the last couple of years, like some of the jump faces in the past would get so jacked up,
just grenaded.
Yeah, you know how the dirt is there. It's not very good when it gets like that. It's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
So it was nice that the jumps weren't super gnarly, but I thought it was a decent racetrack for Paula.
I thought they crushed the prep.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like it really held up.
Yeah.
And it didn't get super, super crazy.
Dusty or blown out.
Yeah, just like, that's one way to describe it. It's like it just gets blown to pieces. And then you've got like this wet and then dry, dusty, like bull dust holes almost. So it seemed like it stayed quite structured.
Yes.
But it was still a gnarly, rough racetrack, but just structured rough, not
I think
completely
it was
blown
pretty
apart
consistent.
rough.
I guess is a good way to put it,
Yeah.
because most of the time there it's like either it's powdery or it's too wet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it's too hard or too silty. Like it's, there's nothing in between. I thought it was pretty consistent.
It's crazy how that track can, like, the cream rises to the top.
Yep.
On the day, like Deegan, unreal.
Yep.
Shimoda,
That was a really good ride.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Like, he looked amazingly good. I mean, Deegan was definitely on another level, but Joe was by far clearly the second best guy.
Yes, he rode really, really good.
Yeah.
Really
and yeah, you could just see some guys like just rode the struggle bus the whole day.
Yeah, that class is pretty stacked. Like when I looked at the entry list or just the qualifying, I'm like, whoa, there's a lot of good guys in here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even you go back to like Drew Adams is good. Ty Masterpool.
Decent race for him with, did he get 11th? Not bad.
Yeah.
I feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's not his favorite track. I know that.
No. How different is Parla to the other tracks on the circuit?
It's way different.
Just to everything.
Yes. Like the feeling of the dirt, like you've rode there. So like kind of, even though it's not prepped exactly the same, but what you probably don't like about it, is probably exactly why
What you guys don't like about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You probably feel the same thing we do.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Brunt Workwear, and I have got the brand new Marin boot here to show you guys right now. Over the last couple of years, I just wanted to get rid of doing the sneaker thing. They're not waterproof. They got super dirty, and I would end up with track shoes. I wanted to be able to rock some boots. It just made a lot more sense to wear boots. So I've switched to wearing boots, and now I've switched to wearing these Brunt boots. There's a super short break-in period, and they're lightweight, they're waterproof, they're slip and oil resistant, they're heat resistant, and they're electrical hazard rated. A lot of you guys that listen to this podcast, you're on job sites, you run machinery, and you actually really need and test all of these features every single day. So now you can finally have durable work boots that are as comfortable out of the box as your sneakers, and over 500,000 customers agree. Brunt didn't just make a durable work boot, they've reinvented comfort for the hardest workers out there. For a limited time only, our listeners get $10 off at Brunt by using the code GYPSYGANG at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com and use the code GYPSYGANG and you are all set. And even better, Brunt will let you try this work boot risk-free on the job site. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them, so please support our show by telling them that the Gypsy Gang sent you. Bro, that vet track though, that just hits every time.
It's fun. Yeah. I actually been coaching a guy, a journalist from Men's Journal, on a KLX 300.
No shit.
And I'm actually going out Tuesday or Wednesday with him again for his third session. And we rode the vet track at Paula. Dude, I had so much fun riding that bike on that track.
Oh, dude.
Just wide open.
Were you riding the 300?
Yeah.
That's so sick.
It's just, it's like a trail bike. You know what it is.
Yeah.
Super fun.
I rode there
because that's what he's riding. So we wanted to like
apples to apples.
Yes, exactly.
That's cool.
So,
dude, I rode there with my brother a couple weeks ago, and it was like Monday morning. My dad was in town, my brother was in town. I was like, didn't really feel like riding. I was like, fuck, this is a whole thing. I got so much work and shit I got to do. Got up in the morning, I was like, fuck it, we're going. Loaded up the bikes, we were there early. It was cold, it was overcast, it rained.
Perfect.
Bro, sensational. It was one of the...
Was it rutted too?
Oh, yeah. It was one of the funnest days I've ever had. Rode my 450.
Yep.
Felt like a fucking hero, bro.
I love those days.
Oh, it was the best. And just that track, like, it was so much fun. And
I
it
like
wasn't that busy.
if it gets rutted, dude, that track is so fun.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously most of the time it's not perfect, but I did go one time when the main track was closed because it rained too much. So the only track open was the vet track. It was honestly sicker than the main track.
Yeah, it was, dude, it can get so good. Eh?
Like ruts down the street. I was like enjoying it. So, yeah, it does suck here though with the tracks. Hopefully Elsinore can open back up and be consistently good,
Yeah.
But that's something here that's tough. Like Supercross is easy here because we have, as a Cowie, we have
tracks.
Yeah, we have PC's track at Glen Helen. They have 2 tracks, and then we actually have 3 tracks in Corona. So
yeah, you guys got options.
yes, so we're like Supercross side, we're dialed. I think motocross is getting tougher and tougher.
So you're coaching a dude from Men's Journal.
Yeah.
How'd that come about?
Through the marketing group with Cowie.
So like Neil and that?
Yes,
Yeah,
Neil and
dude,
those
Neil's
guys,
a legend.
Yeah, so Neil set that up through that and knows him. I mean, I guess they're somewhat friends. So it's cool because he's done a lot of cool things. And he's made progress riding too, but it's just cool to get to know someone that does. He has a lot of experience, doing a bunch of cool stuff.
That's awesome.
With like Lambo and like all kinds of stuff. So like cool stories you hear from him, so it's cool.
And he just got into moto recently, or?
Yeah, his buddy had a KLX 300 that they kind of put a pipe on it, did some stuff to it, and he's like, I'll try it out. Like I love riding street bikes, and yeah. Basically set it up. Neil set it up for us to do it, and we were only going to do 3 sessions, but now we're going to do 4. And I think this week we are going to go to a KX250F.
Sick.
So we're going to go up and see what we get.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it would be rewarding to teach guys with all varying skill levels.
Yes. It's funny in the turns though. He wants to turn just like a street bike.
Oh,
it's hard. Yes, it's hard for him to stay like square. He doesn't want to stay square, but we've been working on it, and it's been fun because he's just enjoying it. Like, he has no expectation too, so like it makes it easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you have like a 50 dad that you're helping, the dad's expecting you to change his kid's riding completely. Sometimes it's not obtainable.
You can't put lipstick on a pig.
Yes. So like with him, it's no pressure and it's light.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So we're going back to Bones. So 2012.
Yep.
450, building that thing from the ground up. So that's really where you learnt the most about testing a motorcycle, do you think?
100%. And Bones is really good about, like, which I think this has consistently stayed that way with most people I work with, but he never told me what he was changing. Never. And then, like, it was either, is it better? Why is it better, or why is it not? And then, like, that kind of started me, I think, down that direction of learning what this feels like and what that feels like, and this is what I feel. You know what I mean? So that's where it started, and then Ivan was at RCH right after that, so I left there and went to RCH. When I first got to RCH, though, the first year the bike was kind of a struggle because we just basically got a bike from Suzuki. And it wasn't, I'm not saying it wasn't pieced together. It was all factory parts, but we didn't know the motorcycle at all. And we had one suspension guy that was also helping James at the time. So he was, all eyes on James, and we were just kind of on the back burner, to be honest. But first year the bike was a struggle, and then Ivan was there in 14, and the bike got really good. And then
he's obviously a good tester.
I started gelling with Ivan a little bit because him and I liked a lot of the same feel. So like there was even more learning there for me too.
Yeah, okay.
And then when Kenny came there, I got to ride his bike to understand what he liked. So like it was cool.
Could you explain Kenny's setup to people?
Oh, it was like riding a couch, dude.
Really?
Oh, that bike was unbelievable. And
really? So you liked it?
Yeah, it was maybe a little bit too soft and free for me, for the way I ride. But, it's so comfortable. So comfortable. Like, you didn't feel anything.
So he just has it set up to be soft compression and fast rebound,
I think so. Like, that bike was pretty soft and pretty fast on the dampening.
Just Euro as fuck.
Yeah, but it was so plush. I just remember the shock. I'm like, holy cow. Like, running over this table didn't even feel like I was hitting it, you know? It was cool. But he was also on KYB at the time, and I was on Showa because that's how it was done. But I couldn't run KYB, basically.
Why is that?
That was just the agreement that RCH had with Suzuki.
Huh. It's one person that's run KYB and one person.
Yeah, it was basically like written that way in the contract.
That seems weird.
Yeah. I mean, they've done that in Europe too with the Cowie guys. Remember in the past, they had the other guys on
That's right, eh?
KYB, but
yeah, because Romain would run Showa.
Yeah, but now they're both on Showa. So I think that it'll stay like that for us too. Like we'll stay on Showa.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, right. That's is that because of like production stuff? Like they tried to split because of some of the production forks would be Showa, some would be KYB?
I think that might have something to do with it because I think at the time you might be right. Cowie did come with KYB forks, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Could be wrong. I'm not exactly sure, but I think so. And the Suzuki did too.
Yeah.
So like the Suzuki 250 came with KYB, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think some of them were like, it was different based on each model.
It's kind of strange.
It is kind of strange.
Yeah.
So, were you good at testing straight away, would you say? Or it was just took a long time, a lot of hours?
No, I think I always had a feel. I always knew that because like if something didn't feel right, I didn't ride that good. So like I was a feeling type rider and racer. So that I think that's where it stems off of why it has developed into what it is for me now. But I think all the experiences I've had throughout my career with being on bikes that I was comfortable with and not, like I've learned what I like, but that's not my position anymore, if that makes sense.
It's not about what you like.
No, it's let's make this change for Jason or for Jorge. You tell us what it does.
Not about you.
No, I'll say like if it is something I like, I'll be like I like it, but that's not the important part.
Yeah.
The important part is me giving them the information so they can use it.
Yeah. Okay.
At the end of the day, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
But sometimes that was hard to get over actually for a little bit because I like this.
And
It's not really
"We don't
about
care."
that. Yeah. Well, they don't say that, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more about what the change was.
Yeah. So how did that testing job come about with Kawasaki?
So in 2021, I raced Moto Concepts Supercross. About round 12, I would say, I got a call or a text from Oscar. Hey, what's your plans for the summer? I'm like, why are you asking me that? Well, let's talk next week or something. We talk, and he's like, would like to have a test rider here. I'm trying to sell it to the team, and I think it would be valuable for us to have someone. Are you interested? That's it. That was all the first call was. And then things kind of fell into place. Last Supercross race at Salt Lake. The next week I rode the bike. I didn't sign a contract though until October the first year because they needed to figure out the legal side of things and how they wanted to put me in the team.
Yeah.
You know, how that would all work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically started in May and signed my contract October and then kept trucking.
That's pretty sick I mean, it really is kind of like the dream job. And it's your generation,
smooth.
like you got IT's doing it.
Yep.
For Triumph, Hanny's doing it.
Yep.
For Husky, you're doing it.
Yep.
For Cowie. It's a pretty sick little setup.
No, it's great because, like, I love riding. I don't like washing my bike. I mean, I'll be honest, like, it's a lot of work to do it. And I want my bike to be good. So this just sets it up. This is exactly what, I get to do what I love, help others, and be around a cool group of people that all have the same goal. Because when the team succeeds and does good, we all reap the benefits.
And you had a small part
Exactly.
of that process.
Exactly.
So what's a normal week look like for you with those guys?
Normally, I at least try to ride once a week, and that's something that we talked about just to keep me on the bike, because there was times where in the beginning, I would say my first and second year there, I took some time off, and then it'd be like, oh, we need to test this, see if we make some progress here, and I'd be so rusty, then I lost my feel, and then I'm like, I don't really like this position because I don't feel comfortable in general, and we're testing. I want to feel comfortable so that way I can give you the best feedback. So we agreed to try to at least ride once a week, and that's kind of what we've been doing. But normally my week is Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday, sometimes testing. And then Monday, the days I'm not at the track, I'm riding bicycles, going to the gym with Aiden, and, training.
So you're pretty well busy every day of the week.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like this week's probably the most relaxed. Like today I didn't really do much. But tomorrow I'll be at the track. Wednesday at the track. Fly Thursday to Hangtown. Combine coach on Friday.
Yeah.
Race Saturday. Fly home Saturday night.
Oh, you're racing Hangtown?
No.
Oh,
be there for the race.
Be there for the race. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a pretty busy schedule.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to testing with Mark. So it's kind of been cool this year, maybe last year, because I feel like Mark's kind of finally getting his own recognition with Kenny.
Yep.
And now that Kenny's on his stuff, and I think like he's getting a little bit of the spotlight. But I first met him in 2011 at KTM.
Yep.
And so he was a KTM for a long ass time.
Yep.
And then he started REP, and kind of, I think there's that process where when a guy leaves a team, they're kind of like known within the industry, and then they go to like the full consumer side. It takes a while for people to maybe catch up with like just how knowledgeable and good he is.
Yep.
But so he was the guy that really helped you once you left Bones to like really develop that skill.
Yeah, and he would show me parts and show me dyno runs and show me, things like that. And then teach me a little bit of how the operational works, the side of it works. I'm kind of a little geeky on that side, to be honest. I would like to keep learning more there because I do love that. It's intriguing to me. It is. Like this part can make it feel that much different, or doing this makes it feel that way. Like I want to understand it because it's cool.
And that helps you be a better tester, do you think?
I don't know if it necessarily makes me be a better tester, but it makes me understand what the actual operation of the suspension would be doing, for instance. It's kind of cool to know that or feel that, and okay, well, this should do that, but maybe it doesn't, because sometimes it's that way a lot. It sounds like we need to do this. You know, I can think that in my own head, and then we try that, and it's not the right way.
Yeah.
So, like, it's weird. It's understanding it is completely different, and I think that's important to separate it for me, you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not the same.
And so you would just go get parts or get suspension, test, feedback, and you were just constantly in that.
Honestly, he did probably, I don't know exactly how many settings he did that summer of 19, but actually it might have been it would have been 19. I mean, we did a lot. I mean, suspension off it. I mean, probably 2 settings a week sometimes in the fork. And then I would find direction he would always tell me, like, if you feel something, call me, let's talk about it, and then let's make a change. And then that way, whenever we take it off later, I'll understand if I need to make a setting change or not. So, like, we would run through those steps together. Like, I'd call him because he was doing this stuff out of his garage, so he was 1 call away. So, like, I would go ride Nuevo by myself and tell him what I was feeling, and then call him right there at the track, would make a change, and then give him my feedback, and then he would make another setting change.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
It's very, like, underground, very, like, that's a very raw way to get into that process.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because it fed me to where I am now. And also, I would say it's hard to be a tester and a racer, though. It is. That's why I think that the job is valuable from my side, because even me, when I got on Moto Concept, so this was after that, I got on the bike and I wanted to make some changes because I had, you know what I mean? I felt like I knew what I wanted, and started going down a path, and I'm like, nope, let's go back. I'm racing it like this. So, like, you know what I mean? The racer came out in me. So then it shows me now when I look at that, there's value in this position, and you just got to keep showing up, giving good feedback, listening to what the rider has to say. You know what I mean? Show up and be there in every aspect as you can.
Yeah. And so when you're testing now, are you trying to think of, like, okay, this is for Jason, this is for Jorge, this is what they like. Are you keeping all of those things in consideration, or is it more like it's doing this, it's doing that, and then they ultimately get to decide? Yes.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think, like I said, for me, it's just giving feedback on the changes. And most of the time, basically, what has happened is, most of the time, well, especially on this new bike, like, we got it to motocross. Like, I tested last year for Jason, got it to a base. Jason gets on it, and then he tells Theo, his crew chief, what he feels and what he wants to work on. And then we take that to go testing. Then we introduce him with a new setup or a new fork. So it's cool.
And so how much stuff will you change, or, like, how bigger changes will you make?
Well, this year we changed quite a bit because Prado likes his bike different because he only has road motocross. So we made a big step, a different direction this year for him. And we're kind of, honestly, him and Jason's settings are pretty close, I believe. I mean, spring rates are different, but they're not much different. So it's pretty cool that both bikes, I mean, Jason's pretty happy. Prado, we had some work to do, but, like, it's pretty cool that they're pretty close to the same, but they look way different.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy.
Prado rides so different to everybody else here, doesn't he?
Well, and that's something he said, like, right away. Like, everybody who tried to ride my bike in Europe can't ride it. Can't ride it. So I'm like, this is great. I love it. Like, for me, it's cool because I learn more, and then, it's cool.
Yeah, because you're learning a completely different style of rider that's been through all these different experiences from a different brand too. Yeah,
like Jason too isn't too picky, to be honest. He's pretty easy for the most part, but that's okay. But Prado's like, I like it this way. So like, it makes it easy though, because, like, if we don't hit it on the head, we're not worried about where he didn't, because he just tell us. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's pretty straightforward.
And he's pretty committed himself to making,
and his feedback is awesome.
Really?
Like, really, really good feedback.
So what do you look for in feedback? Like, what is good feedback in your eyes?
Him explaining what he's feeling. Like, the way he explains it, it's not contradicting. A lot of guys, like, you can tell maybe they're not pinpointing what they're feeling. It's more of
just complaining it's not good.
It's exactly. Where don't like it? Oh, everywhere. well, that doesn't help us.
Yeah.
Or it's doing this, or it feels like that, but those two things are contradicting. So you almost have to break it apart, and you're like, what does that mean? But with Prado, it's very straightforward.
And he gives like good feedback.
Yes, you understand it. Sometimes feedback can be like, whoa, where are we? Which direction should we go? Or what do you guys think? Because when I hear it, I'm like, that seems confusing. Sometimes, you know what I mean? It can be.
Yeah.
So like Prado is very straightforward. His feedback, like I said, is good and it's direct. It's easy to read.
Yeah.
It's doing this. I don't like that. It's doing that. I don't like that. Or this is better. You know what I mean? It's very easy.
Yeah.
It's in between the lines.
How hard is being based in the West Coast these days for getting a bike set up for outdoors?
It's difficult.
Yeah.
That's why racing last year I thought was important for us. We did go to club, and I tested last year, and it brought out some stuff that we needed to work on. And then when I got to Red Bud, I was like, whoa, we're off a little bit. But it was perfect.
Yeah,
we
you
worked
need
on it.
you need that.
I needed it.
Yeah.
Because it was obviously there was other variables in there that made it difficult. It was my first race back in a long time, but like I know what it should feel like.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
this ain't it.
We're missing something.
Yeah.
So I came in from press day right away, and I'm like,
dude,
Jason is crushing it with the way this thing feels right now.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's legitimately what I said. I said, everybody, I want to talk to everyone. This ain't working. I said, if anything, Jason's on the gas. He's figuring out how to ride this, and this is not easy to ride on this condition.
Wow.
Yeah. It was just difficult I don't know. It was just hard to explain. Like, it was new for me because I haven't raced in a long time, but like, it felt so difficult to go around the track, and I'm like, this does not feel right.
So what did you end up changing?
So a lot of engine stuff, because basically made the bike fast. Like, honestly, built it like for top speed, you know?
Really?
Like, it was like super long. Had the bottom end felt empty. Like when I got on dirt with traction and it was deep, dude, I go in the turns and I'd give it throttle and it would not go, and I just keep twisting the throttle. But it's the power. We had power, but it was just in the wrong spot.
Yeah, not in the right spot.
Yeah, so like really struggled in the turns for me.
Yeah.
Like really bad. And then we worked on it so we had like 5 weeks from there till Buds. We worked on, and Buds was a lot better. And then basically at that point, at before Washougal, I want to say everything that happened from Red Bud till I raced, each week we made progress. And I think we kept sliding it over to Jason. I don't know if he was exactly on all of it prior to Bud's Creek, but at the end of the season, him and I were on the exact same bike.
Wow.
So.
And did his results improve?
Yes. So it was cool. Like the way it happened, it was awesome. Because at Washougal, I want to say he rode awesome, dude.
Yeah, he always kind of does ride good there too.
We made some changes, but prior to this, he was not struggling, but you could tell it just wasn't that easy for him. So.
Kind of cool that you got a rider that isn't whinging and complaining about everything, and then also kind of cool that you can go there with testing in mind.
Yep.
Validate, like, hey, we actually have a dude that's doing really good. And he probably shouldn't be doing this good on this setup. But then you guys can also implement and make changes.
Like off the start even, I'm like, whoa, how did he get a good start?
And so what, do you think it's you guys, because you're in California, so hard based, the dirt's not deep, you don't have as much traction, you just would never want to ride a bike that fast here?
Yeah, like it wasn't like it was... Like I said, just didn't have much bottom end. So, like, for Glen Helen, that's perfect. You're carrying so much speed around the track. You got so much momentum.
Yeah,
but then
you're always up in the revs.
Yeah, you add in mulch, loamy dirt,
sand,
tight turns, sand. I'm like, this thing does not go. When I open the throttle, it's not going. So, but it was cool. It was a great experience. Prado went there the week before, Paula. So... I'm glad they went because I made some changes there.
At club?
Yes. So he was there for a week. They had a good time. It sounded like it was positive. It sounds like he's going to go back there. So I think in the future, I actually was thinking this on the way to Glen Helen like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, dude, we need somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Like, we need somewhere we can call like somewhat home, but we could still operate out of California. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's club or any place in Florida, like, it'd be nice for us to have a place. We have some bikes, get on a plane and go.
Fly in, fly out.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. Because I'm guessing that there's obviously still a lot of value in California. Like, the shops here, the teams here.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot that is here. But we just don't. In terms of what you guys are racing week in and week out in the summer, it's just really not comparable, is it?
Yeah, it's very hard to. I mean, I did it at the tail end, but it's also because of racing. Like, for me, like, I wasn't making the money to make it worth it. If I went to Florida and spent an extra $50,000 a year, I knew that I was gonna spend the money and get around the same result at that point. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't worth the money at the time for me.
Yeah.
So I think there's big value in it if you have a great program there for the guys. I think it's great.
What's club like?
Dude, it's a nice facility. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, everyone says
Dude,
it's
like,
so
when you
sick.
pull in, you're like, what? And we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. What's funny is I rode that sand track when Zach Osborne owned the land. So when you pull onto the road that club's off of, there's a track I used to race on, little bikes. I mean,
Oh, because you're from there.
yeah,
That's like home.
It's not far.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like 2.5 hours from my parents' house.
No way.
So there's a track called Sand Hill that's right at the entrance. Well, this obviously club wasn't a thing back then. We used to go there all winter, like, and race. And this little track, I thought it was so big, and I pulled it in. I'm like, that's Sand Hill? I thought this track was like a big deal. This is like a little backyard track.
Yeah.
But now you pull in, you go past Sand Hill, and then you get to club. It's all paved, green grass everywhere, manicured, tracks everywhere. They got homes now that they're building for people. Like, it's unbelievable. So, like, I mean, when you get there, like, this can't be real.
That's the future. Right?
Yes, it's cool, but it is. I think you have to click with the group you're around too. Like, I'm not saying that place isn't, but I'm just saying when you decide to go to a place like that, like, it's important for the whole package to be thriving for you. I think that's very important.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of see that at the dog pound. It kind of seems like everybody there, they have, you know what I mean? They have a click going on that's good for all of them. It seems that way.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and even Dino was in here the other day, and he was just talking about, it's like the vibe, like, it's just fun. Jet is out there.
Yep.
He's like, Jet just pulls on the track, starts doing his moto.
Yep.
Dazzy's still working on a tractor. Like,
Yep.
it's just less, because you're at the Baker's factory
Yep.
for a point in time, and it's like the exact opposite. It's like run like a military camp.
Yep.
Like, Aldon literally was in the military.
Yes. No, it was. Your schedule was exactly what it was every single week. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, it was this, and that's what we're doing.
What's the difference between a trainer and a coach?
I think I look at a trainer as specializing in how the human body adapts to training. I think a coach I look as more like a mentor, someone that can guide you. And that's more so kind of the position I want to be in, is like, I've trained in multiple different ways. I've worked with endurance coaches. I've done studying. I've done all this stuff. Like, I want to bring it all together and bring the best thing to the table for the guys that I help, because you can do it a million different ways. And yes, there is a right and wrong way for sure. But some guys, I think, need different things. They do. Everybody doesn't need to be trained the same way.
Yeah, and on the exact same schedule. And
Yes. Like, for instance, like, if you like running, they'll be like, oh, no, you need to cycle. Like, okay, if the guy likes running, let him run. You know what I mean? It's okay. Yeah. I mean, that's just a simple example, but I just think it's more complex than that. Like, each guy needs different massaging, different package.
And have you worked with trainers and coaches, would you say? Like, have you worked with both?
Yeah, I mean, I actually, I think, speaking of Aldon, like, he brought a very high, it was kind of like Mitch, you didn't want to disappoint him. So there was a great value in that to me. The training was nothing special, in my opinion. I I really had a good time training with Swanepoel prior to that, and I had a lot of experience there.
When were you with Swanee at Star?
I was with him for 14, 15, 16, 17.
Is that before he was like full-time with Star?
Yeah, he was kind of headed that direction.
Yeah.
14, 15. I want to say 16, he might have started being the trainer for the team, kind of.
Yeah.
But basically it was me and Cooper Webb at first. Yeah, so like I started working with him. Then after that went to Aldon, and then I actually had RL help me. And this is where I think it's pretty cool. I had Randy Lawrence help me in 2021.
Yeah.
Because I knew that he's seen different experiences.
Yeah, he's seen a lot.
Yes, and been with different types of guys. And I wanted that variety in my equation.
Yeah.
So, like, I wanted to change it up. So, started working with him, and that even opened my eyes to why I feel the way I do now, you know? Like,
in what way?
I wouldn't say that you could say he's a certified trainer. You know what I mean? But he brought something to the table that was different than just saying, hey, you need to run zone or whatever, do zone 2 for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was more of just a raw program. You know what I mean? Like, come meet me at the house. We're going to do a gym workout. Like,
yeah, he just made you feel ready.
Yeah, like, it was just different. So, like, I just think that it's good to kind of look at what a lot of guys are doing, understand why they're doing it, maybe why it helps them, and take what's good from it and learn.
What do you like about Swanee's program?
Him and I just clicked. Like, him and I saw eye to eye, and I think I was kind of like the role model for him, for the guys.
Yeah.
So I kind of got put in a position where the kids looked up to me.
Yeah, they're like, be like Broc.
Yes. Like, I'm strong on the bicycle, show up on the gym, have decent results. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think I was in a position where I enjoyed it because people were looking up to me, and I was setting an example for them. So it was cool. So,
that was like the bit of accountability.
Yes,
that
and it kind of helped. Yeah. And then, like, on the bicycles, I was always strong. So, like, they're like, man, Broc, you're so strong. So they kind of like always looked up to being strong. Yeah. So, like, I think that's why I enjoyed that environment, is because I was being looked at as, like, looked up to. And then, let's see, at Aldon's, I got pretty fit, but I didn't eat enough. I was pretty cranky. Yeah. I weighed 160 pounds at A1, and that's like...
Too light.
I mean, that's about 15 pounds lighter than I am right now.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. And I feel like I'm fine right now. Like, I'm good.
So what was he was just super strict on food?
Yeah, like, the scale was always out each week.
Really?
Yeah. I remember one time I came in and weighed like 167 or something, and yeah, he was not happy. And then, like, I started doing things because of that, like not eating after my motos or drinking water because I knew I'd get weighed. So that way the scale number was right. And that's not the right thing to do. So I look at those things. I just did it. I knew better, but, like, yeah.
Just didn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, and it's not a big deal. But then, honestly, I'll be honest, I think I was pretty miserable at the beginning because I was out on the tipping point. Fight or flight mode. I was skinny. I wasn't eating enough. I wasn't recovering, I don't think, enough, but I was still strong. And I could still produce. Like, I could still show up during the week and be good for the motos and do gym, smash the bicycle, but I was on the tipping point. I think I want to say after round 2 or 3 of Supercross, I said, F this. Started going to Texas Roadhouse, butter rolls, ribeyes, baked potato loaded. Like, I just said, screw it. I did.
And what was the result of that?
I got happier. I got happier.
How did Aldon feel?
At that point, we didn't even talk about it. To be honest, I didn't even talk about it. I said, it is what it is. I didn't even say that. I just did it.
So you just got on the scales, overweight?
No, I wasn't even over. Yeah, I was 168. Yeah. But when I got down to like 160, I was like, dude, I don't feel good. Yeah.
There is
it's like a tipping point.
There was a big... And you were on a 450 then, though,
yeah.
right? So, like, why did it matter?
Yeah.
Why was the weight such a big deal if you're on a 450? I get it on a 250.
Lean machine, you know?
It ain't always the right
No,
move,
I
though.
look at the guys nowadays. No, I mean, there's a little bit of pudge is good for you.
Well,
Not pudge, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Little bit of fat's good.
there's a thing like a fighting weight.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, for me, I'm about 80 kilos right now, which is like, I think it's 100. I think I'm like 180 pounds.
Yep, that sounds about right.
And I feel good.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, for me, and because if I'm training jiu-jitsu, like, weight is a important thing.
Yep.
But you can be too heavy, lethargic, a bit slow,
Yep.
Cardio's not as good. And then I can go down weight. I used to fight at like 150.
Yep.
So like same height, same everything, and I'd be 30 pounds lighter. And I was just nowhere near as strong. I just couldn't take
You lost the power.
Yeah, I just couldn't, and I couldn't take the damage in a way, like from
Yep.
other people. And so now I feel like I'm stronger, my cardio is good,
Yep.
and I can handle weight. Like, I
Yes.
can handle other people putting like force
Yep.
on me.
Yep.
But yeah, when I'm lighter than this, I just lose a bit of the strength. I lose, because strength and weight are kind of pretty intertwined, right?
Yes.
So it's like you can be just as strong, but if you don't have the weight behind you,
Yep.
then you're actually not able to exert as much force.
Exactly.
So yeah, there is a balance to be made, and I think that everyone has like a different kind of sweet spot
Yep.
for weight and power.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, I kind of know my sweet spot too. It'd be around 170 pounds. Like,
Yeah.
if
How
I'm
tall are you?
5'10".
Yeah.
I mean, when I won the championship though, I was 176
Really?
on its 250.
On a PC 250.
Yes. So like, I look back though, this is over the last 5 years I've been around 170, other than Aldon's. So for me, I would say I agree. There's like a fighting weight where I feel like there's a good balance. If I creep up to 180, I start feeling fat.
Yeah.
Not fat, but I
Yeah.
just feel slow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what happens.
Like 10
you just
pounds,
feel
you know?
a little bit
Yeah.
less.
Ugh.
Like, yeah.
Blah.
Yeah.
But if I'm on the other side, there's a sweet spot, 5 to 6 pounds on each side of it, where I'm okay.
Yeah. I wonder, I haven't really thought about it in moto terms, what my sweet spot would be.
Yeah.
But I definitely think for like training, it's like 180 is good.
Probably.
Mm.
I mean, for your height, if you're 150 is light, dude.
Oh man, dude.
You had to be so skinny, huh?
Oh, I was so skinny, and
Yeah.
you'd cut weight like crazy. Like the night before you do fights, you'd just be in the sauna,
Yeah.
just like
How much would you do
everything was
that?
gone.
How long would you do that for? Like,
It was so ridiculous. Like when the first comp I did, I signed up on a whim. Like I'd only been training a few months,
Yeah.
and I was like, fuck it, I just want to, because I was like, I can lose. I'm
Yeah.
allowed to lose. I've literally been training for 3 months. Like no one expects me to win,
Yeah.
I didn't want to get good or like get down the road and then have expectations to do well.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'd rather lose while it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
And I had to lose like, it was like kilos. So it was probably like 10, 12 pounds. And I just ate chicken and spinach and just was in the sauna like days before it, and like running with a sauna suit on to just try and get all of the water weight out.
Yep.
But after that, I just started dieting like for weeks
Like
leading
what?
up to it.
So, yeah. If you just ate normal, what weight would you be then? Like at that time?
At that time?
Like before you did your
Probably I would try and stay around 75 kilos.
So that's like 170.
Yeah. So now I'm at like 180.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been lifting weights and like
Well, it's
trying
crazy.
to
We
get a bit bigger.
fluctuate water so much weight. It's pretty gnarly. Any motocross guy knows. You could in the morning weigh 175, and you get home you could weigh 168.
Oh, easy, dude.
Easy.
Were you weighing yourself before and after nationals for like water weight and just see how much you were sweating?
No, but I would do it whenever I would get home though. That way I knew. Like at the race, I knew what I was drinking. You know what I mean, for the most part, and consuming to
Yeah.
keep my weight. I already knew. But during the week, I think it is important. And you shouldn't panic, but you should acknowledge what your weight looks like.
Yeah.
After a big day. If you have a big day, if you do riding and cycling or something and gym, for instance, like you could lose close to 10 pounds if you're not paying attention.
Yeah. Are you big on electrolytes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I use actually every morning I make a glass with lemon juice and a little bit of olive oil and Baja Gold sea salt.
Yeah, right.
That's how I start my morning.
Yeah.
Immediately. And I would use any one of those salt electrolyte. I like those.
Yeah.
Like the Element or...
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I think it's... Your electrolyte balance is very important, I think, on the way you feel and the way you perform.
We need to bring you a quick word from our sponsor, motorsport.com. I got a YZ450F that I got some upgrades to do. You know exactly where I'm going. I'm going to need some help with customer service, so I'm going to chat with a gearhead. This box showed up. It has a 2007 KTM master cylinder, a Yamaha caliper, also 2007, and a Turner braided brake lines. I feel like this is a very good upgrade for $600. Need the old hanger, so we're gonna put a bit of grease on that and get it back on, bolt her up. Caliper has been done. Now this can just get bolted on. Now, shout out to Kiefer, who I think stole this off Doug Dubark. That was easy. Nah, that was easy. This is a pretty epic upgrade. You can get OEM parts to build this little Frankenstein brake kit, or basically anything else for any brand by going to motorsport.com. So what diet did you find worked the best for you back when you were a racer, or even now, like?
Well, like, I went through a phase there where I tried carbo loading, and, you know, that was kind of like a fad. It kind of is still in the cycling world and endurance. But honestly, my stomach didn't never feel good, and then it never felt right. Like, I never felt good doing that. I would say the way I feel the best, and when I say balance for me, it's more like a paleo diet, and I get my carbs from vegetables or other things, fruits.
Yeah.
Instead of eating rice or potatoes like crazy, because that, for some reason, I feel slow. Like if I do paleo and I add in more double veggies and then I eat, you know, even some bread's okay, but like potatoes and sometimes like some starchy carbs kill my stomach.
Do you ever do sweet potato?
Yeah. I like those. So like I a lot use the air fryer with just the sweet potato fries. I'll just make my own.
Yeah.
So I do that often.
Did you experiment with diet a lot when you were racing?
Not too much. The guy at Hammer Nutrition, Brian Frank, was a friend of mine, and he sent me like a protocol, which it's kind of like a Mediterranean or paleo diet, and I've always kind of followed that since like 2010.
What's your family background?
I mean, we're Southern North Carolina. I mean,
but like before that, like
what do we eat?
Ancestry.
I want to say I have it on my phone, I think, on my 23andMe, but I'm like Southeastern European.
Yeah, okay.
So
because that stuff has a lot to do with it, eh? Like,
yes, 100%.
Yeah, like where you came from,
Yeah.
what your ancestry is got a lot to do with like the way that you eat and the foods that actually work for you.
Yes, I think it does. I think the more you dive into that, I would actually like to know more of what that diet looks like for that area. But it has something to do with it for sure. It's genetics. It's what built you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When you look at it that way, yeah, it might have been a long time ago, but it's the way your genes were put together.
Yeah, and some people can eat certain things. Some people it just fully doesn't work for them. People with alcohol, like some people just can't drink. Like how many dudes do you know that just 2-3 drinks are just like a completely different version of themselves? Yeah. And I feel like so much of that even just has to do with genetics.
Oh, for sure. We actually, my family, my dad got us T-shirts made for Christmas. It says Tickle, and it says you wouldn't understand. So it's pretty funny because us Tickles are unique. We like my brothers even now. There's so much in common that you see from like just in general. You know, it's cool.
In what way?
Just how we work, how we do things. Like it's just. It's there. You know what I mean? I see it in my brothers. I see it in my dad now more. I see it in my grandpa. Like just the way we do things, the way we work, you know what I mean? All of it. I see it. It's cool.
Yeah, just like there is something
you can
like
see the
in
genetics.
The family.
Yes,
yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then whenever we want to have a good time, we have a good time. Like we can see that too. For real. It's in the genes.
You were probably like the quiet partier in the like people probably wouldn't have expected you to be as loose as what you were back in the day.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's but I think a lot of that had to do, like I mentioned earlier, like
you just didn't party at all.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't go to school. Like, stopped going to school. Homeschooled there at the end, but like, wasn't really socially around anyone. I mean, my brothers lived a normal life. My younger brother, for instance, was, I think, out having a good time when he was like 15 years old. I wasn't doing that. I was already racing pro.
So the first time you really started drinking was like as a pro?
Around the time that I won a championship, like maybe once a year, just Vegas.
Had the big blowout.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was just fully a thing. Like
it was just normal.
Everyone did that back then.
Yeah.
And it just stopped.
It did.
Everyone just shut it down.
Well, and I think like it's just because it's the sport's leveled up so much, like you can't compromise anything. You really can't. Like I think you can go out and have fun, but there's a time and place. I mean, like always, but like it's gotten so like to a level where everything matters. Like you got to be in it.
And when you had the 2-year suspension and then you came back, did the sport even level up in that time?
Oh, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, because when I got back, my first race back, I got 12th. And on paper, I'm like, dude, that was a good ride. First Supercross race back in 2020. I mean, I looked at the people in front of me. I'm like, do I expect to beat them after being out for 2 years? Yeah, I wasn't very happy with 12th, but it was a good ride. Heat race was a good ride. Got 4th, beat guys who, were on the podium the weekend before.
What could you notice that had leveled up?
Just everyone was better. I could tell. Like, the bikes were better, I think. And just the guys were, dude, the speed is more so what I'm getting at. Like, the speed was, like, another level. And even for me, when I was on Moto Concepts, like, dude, during the week, I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can go any faster than this. Like, I'm trying my best, and I'm hitting my marks. And then I'd go out on the weekend, and I'd ride pretty good, 13th. Like, dude, yeah.
How does the speed get that much faster in 2 years?
I think it's just the guys that have came in, dude. Like, they've leveled it up. Like, Jet, Hunter, now... Like, back then, I don't know who was in a good example, but, like...
Yeah, who would it have been back then?
2020.
Like, Eli?
I mean, and Coop.
Yeah, Coop.
Yeah, just... I think the level that, honestly, Coop in 19 brought leveled the game up.
Really?
Like, in Supercross, you know how he was just a dog?
Yeah.
Like he always is, but, like, he pushed Kenny so hard. He pushed himself so hard. He pushed Eli to a level that he probably didn't want to go to. You know what I mean? I think all those like type of things and circumstances are what elevates the sport. I think it plays a big part in it, because if you're a racer and you want to win, you figure out a way. That's why I think that story, like, of watching Eli come back and be as good as he has been, it's impressive. It really is.
Yeah, because Coop in 19 was on a really good KTM.
Yep.
Like the best version of that bike probably ever.
Yep.
And was hungry to win.
Yep.
Because up to that point, his 450 career sucked.
Oh, it was bad.
Like, he was one of the greats on a 250.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, what he did ends up beating Jeffrey Hurlings in a GP. Like, just the shit on a 250.
Yep.
Won basically everything.
Yep.
And then did nothing on a 450.
17 and 18 were struggle years for him.
And then imagine, like, knowing him.
Yep.
Yeah, how hard he must have worked to get to that level in 19.
The sacrifice was high. It's not easy to go from... If you look at his results in 18, I want to say... I mean, I don't know what his best finish is, but I think there was a lot of outside the top 10 finishes.
Wait, jump in front of the mic again.
Oh, yeah.
We're drifting.
Yeah. I think a lot of
and then the
finishes
injuries.
And then to go to KTM and do what he did, it's pretty impressive.
Well, and the wild thing too, it's funny, I've like spoke about this before, and Chad's like, well, I don't know anything about this, but they were literally talking about Chad on that KTM that year in 19, and it was basically between Chad and Coop.
Yep.
So like Coop almost didn't even end up with that
yep.
ride, and it's like the position that he was in to like just get on that team, probably the best team at the time.
Yep.
And then just make it happen, dude. Make it happen.
Yeah, even in 2020 when I came back, and then so it was a tough comeback because second race was Arlington, and I broke my hand in practice. Ugh. So I literally 2 years off, race one race, excited, motivated, come back, get landed on in the first rhythm lane. It didn't crash, just got landed on, and broke my hand. Missed that, but then a blessing, COVID came. So then I could get ready again. So then we had a break, and then they decided we're going to do Salt Lake rounds. I made it back for Salt Lake, broke my hand, other hand, the first round of Salt Lake. And I'm like, dude, how many more opportunities like am I going to feel like I'm going to, you know, put myself in this situation? And like, I kept grinding, and I actually finished that off with getting a sixth at the final round there. But it was a fight, man. But the speed of Tomac and Cooper at some of those races, I remember they lapped me 3 times at that one race that was muddy. 3 times. How?
And you beat Tomac for a championship.
Yeah. Well, not only that, I think they lapped 3rd place. I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I think they did.
Yeah.
And the track, I watched it on TV. I'm like, when you ride it, when you watch them, you're like, it's way messed up, way more messed up than the way they make it look.
There must just be something that happens when you're in that fight. And if you're not in it, there's just no way you can get to that level. Like Sakamoto or Pala.
Yep.
Bro. Those boys were
gone.
Rolling, dude. And like 3rd place, so far.
What was it, like 30 seconds back?
Maybe more.
Yeah.
And there must just be like a level of intensity that guys can push each other to. That if you're not in that fight, like you can't tap in. Like you just, the energy isn't the same.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's true, but I think being in that, I'm trying to think of like what it feels like when you're in that position, you know, when you're thriving and you feel it, when you're doing something the way you want to, that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? And I think Jet too had more control than what we think. Like in that second moto, like I think he knew what he was doing. Mm-hmm. Not saying he was toying with them completely, but he knew what he was doing.
We were standing on top of the hill, on top of the Fox bus, and it was me, Anna, and my brother, and we're up there, and Matty's like, dude, Tomac's right there, and I said to him, Jet is the king of leading by a second. Mm-hmm. If you ask him, he's probably like, nah, I couldn't have gone any faster. But it's like he's so ingrained. It's like Darren has just ingrained it into him that you just need to stay a second ahead or 2 seconds ahead. Because you never see him win races by 30, 40 seconds. No. He's just that. It's not the way that they built that kid to ride. No. Because I think they just learned from James. You know, like the old mentality, the generation before, was just win by a minute. Yep. Win by a minute. Just completely dominate these dudes. And you saw it when Jet had his perfect season. You saw it, like, how many of those races did he just...
It's right there. Yeah.
Just won. Yeah. But it's like, did he just win? Mm-hmm. I think it's what you're saying.
It's control. Like that's hard because that shows confidence. Mm. You know that is like when you have control over yourself and what you're doing. Like it'd be easy to be like, yeah, I want to go win by 30 seconds. Yeah. It'd be easy to take the carrot and run. Mm-hmm. But if he really has that much control and does that, then that shows you he's a strong individual.
I was driving in there and I saw the first quali 2 seconds. And I'm like, I just don't know that he gets the respect he deserves. Like
I think it was 2.7. So, bro, I mean, that's... Whew.
He just did his ACL 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. And then rehabs, misses the entire season, comes back and is not 2.7 seconds faster than everyone, 2.7 seconds faster than second. Like he was like 6-7 seconds faster than some of the dudes in the top 10. Yeah. It's like, hey guys, I think we all need to just finally accept that this might be the best dude ever. Like, everyone wants to discredit.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to say, oh, it's because of this, because of that. I think he's the best.
The level he has is unbelievable. I haven't seen anything like it ever. And he's done a good job with, I guess, the challenges he has came to about working on them, or the weaknesses he has, because he's had some throughout. Everyone does, and to get to where he is now, you can see that he's growing, and he's in a good spot. You can see it.
100%.
You can see it.
I feel like he beat Tomac with lines.
Oh, after the finish, I don't know if you could see that.
I couldn't see that.
I know it was super rutted and technical there, but he was going bouncing over, and then going into it. He was 2 bike lengths faster than everyone there. Everyone.
All
just
day
in
too.
the right-hander, just in that one turn. So from I did a segment actually on the stopwatch just to see finish line to like the second roller that they take off on. So literally it's 7 seconds long. It was like 1.2 seconds a lap, just in that, compared to some guys in the top 10. It's nuts.
Fuck.
I mean, it's a section that's here to the bathroom in here, you know? It's not very far. But why isn't anybody else doing it? Tomac tried to do it too. He couldn't do it.
Well, it's funny you say that. So where we were up on top, and so we could see like that whole back side, right? And you know where you go down the hill, left, and then up the hill.
Yep.
Jet, like, I think it was 2 laps ago in the last moto, he'd been doing the same line the entire moto, way out in front, and then he just starts switching lines for the last 3 laps. And then the way that he could just flawlessly change to the very inside that no one else was doing, just perfect. But then when Tomac kind of had that second push, Tomac had like 2 pushes at him in that moto. And then the second push, Jet starts going in the middle rut, and then exiting way early and missing all the bumps. And like, you could see Tomac was trying to make the same changes and going up that single before the big double up the hill. It was so rough. And Jet just wasn't hitting any of the bumps. And then you could see Tomac was trying to get inside it, it couldn't quite get there, you know.
That's a good point. That's a good observation on your behalf, though, because it's actually something I talked to. I'm friends with Whipple, you know who that is?
Yeah.
We talked after the race, and he mentioned something about how Jet can change lines, and the first time he changes his line, he hits it perfect. And his bike placement, all of it.
Yeah.
Like, does it with speed, like race pace with
Doesn't
line
miss a
change.
beat.
Yes. So it's a good point.
And so there's that section. And so this is just the sections that I can see, right? So there's that. Then he ends up switching it again and goes to that very, very inside that he hit a couple laps before the first moto. So then he's going up the hill. Then you go down the hill, right?
Yep.
And you know how you got the left and then the roller? Bro, there were 2 laps in a row. The rut, he went down the hill and then just went, and bounced out of the rut.
Over on the backside of the single.
Over it. And you could see Tomac was right. It was when Tomac was
getting
right
close.
up his ass. Right there. Tomac tried it. Like, clipped the top. Just couldn't quite do it. Jet did it 2 laps in a row, and he was hitting the rut so hard that it moves, right? So then he literally down the hill and then goes over the single, scrubs it, loses traction with the rear, and then just goes straight up. And it's just like all of this.
It's all feel.
26 minutes into a 30-minute moto with a full-on beast mode charge.
Yeah.
And you say that because they're 40 seconds ahead of third.
Yeah.
So it's like, to be able to make those decisions and just to have the, like, I think is what you said, you know, like that confidence in yourself that you can just be right there. Like, dude, it was incredible.
Yes.
Crazy performance.
It's going to be a good summer, too, because I think hopefully we have everyone healthy. Like, it's just cool to see everyone on the gate. You know what I mean? I think that's awesome. And I actually saw a little bit of spark out of Cooper, to be honest.
Yeah.
Justin Cooper first moto, but then second moto. Actually, Cooper Webb showed a little bit of spark.
Yeah.
I'm not saying his speed was super good, but I saw a little bit of fight in him. And that actually was cool for me to see because I know it's hard. It's hard to make that adjustment after a long year of Supercross.
Bro, I wouldn't fucking show up.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
No way would I show up.
So, like, yeah, it'd be cool if everyone's there every race.
Already bank like $3 million for the year.
Yeah.
Fuck that, I ain't racing outdoors, bro. I'm done,
See you
dude.
next year.
Yeah, see you next year, bro.
Yeah.
No, man, it was cool. And, dude, Eli was ripping.
Yeah.
Eli was ripping.
I think the 250 class is underrated, too, to be honest.
In terms of the speed that they go on?
Just all of it. Like, dude, the class is deep.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Like, 12th place is still pretty gnarly.
Like, who got 12th?
That's why it comes to mind is because Parker Ross got 12th overall, I think, or 12th second moto. And, like, I'm thinking in my head, like, I looked around him and who was around him, like, dude, that was a good ride.
Yeah, because
So, like,
I think Drew got 11th.
Yeah, he ended up 11th overall.
Yeah.
But I think Parker Ross, I don't know if he got 12th overall, but he got 12th second moto. So, like, that to me, I'm, like, looking at who's around. I mean, there's guys that are really good right there.
Yeah, everyone's good in
Yeah.
that top 12, 13.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I also thought Hunter was unreal.
He rode really good, too.
And his bike setup looked shit.
I didn't really pay attention too much to him. I mean, I honestly didn't. I saw a little bit of the leaders here and there, but I was watching Jason and Jorge the whole time.
Yeah.
So I need to go back and watch the race again, because whenever you're helping people, even me watching, I didn't even get to watch Deegan really because I'm watching Garrett.
Yeah, you're watching Garrett.
So,
Yeah, I just thought to have the injury that he had, lose so much racing, and to be on the box.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually crazy
So
underrated.
too. Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see. I think Chase, obviously, double DNF. Didn't have that coming on my bingo cards.
No, I didn't see that either.
But I mean, he looked good. I'd say he probably would have been the third place guy.
Yeah.
But I wonder if anyone was catching those two out front. Like, they definitely got rolling.
Yeah, I know Chase has had his good rides at Polo before, but I don't think, obviously, it's one of his favorite tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I don't think a lot of people really like it, to be honest. But some guys just stand out there. So, like, Christian Craig sticks out in mind that he's like a guy that's really good there, you know, because he's had his first 450 podium there. He rode really good on Star there, like on the 450. Like, he's a guy that's always been consistently good there.
So some people just have it or they don't at that track.
Yeah.
So what is, in comparison, what's Hangtown like? Does that feel more
I
normal?
like Hangtown, but a lot of people don't like it. I think it's a good racetrack. It's not super, super fast. I mean, yes, it has areas where it's fast, but I like how it slows down and it has some sections that are slower. It's kind of technical, no matter if it's rutted or hard, because you kind of have to find things to turn off of. You know what I mean? It kind of makes it technically like a track that you have to think to go fast.
And so you think once it gets past Hangtown, it kind of gets more like indicative of
I think
real
once you get to High Point, and then from there on, that's when the championship starts coming together anyways, for the most part. You know, obviously the first 4 races matter, but I think after High Point is kind of when the meat of the racing, maybe the best racing is yet to come, you know, around that time normally. I would say mid-season normally is pretty good.
So who do you think wins the titles? I think the 250s is probably pretty
I mean, Deegan obviously the favorite. I mean, what I saw out of, you know, some guys like Joe was pretty good. I mean, I'd love to see Garrett up there in the mix.
He definitely can be a podium guy.
That's my goal with him, and that's his goal, is to get up front and fight for podiums. But I think 450 class, we'll let it make its own story.
It's gonna be sick.
I know.
I just hope it stays good.
Yeah.
But think about Jet and Eli raced each other at A1 at San Diego, and for like 2 corners of Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And San Diego was one of the best races ever.
Oh, that was an unbelievable race.
Moto 2, Opala, one of the best outdoor motos ever.
We've seen in a while, yep.
So it's like every time these two have
I feel like
together.
if Chase can get up in there too, and then as a season progresses and Prado, I mean, I could see Prado getting to the front. 100%.
I think so too.
It's just going to take a little bit of time. But I think Chase at 100%, Eli and Jorge and Jet, like if they were, if the, you know what I mean, if it could play out the right track, right scenario, right start, and even Hunter, because Hunter can ride really good sometimes and race, he can win. I think sometimes he could win, and he has. But it'd be cool to see all of them up front fighting for it.
So what tracks do you think are going to suit Jorge? Like, do you think that there's going to be a place where he's going to go and feel pretty comfortable no matter what?
I think I see him liking the main tracks that everyone likes. Like, I see him liking Red Bud. I see him liking Southwick just because it's our sand track. I'm interested to see what he thinks about High Point and Thunder Valley and Unadilla. Those places I'm kind of interested to see what he thinks. But, like, I think those could be strengths for him. Just because I think they're somewhat more like it. I don't know, though. I never raced over there, so I don't know. But it'd be cool to see how he adapts and what he thinks of our tracks as he does the whole series.
Yep. And so what happens if Sexton signs with you guys? Are you excited about that potentially?
Yeah, obviously. Dude, it's gnarly. Like, everyone asked me, like, do you know if he's there? I'm like, dude, I don't know anything.
Yeah, you're the last one people are telling.
Yeah, you do. I'm like, no, I don't know anything. I mean, yeah, that would be awesome. It'd be cool.
So what do you think? If it, like, let's just say it does.
That's a lot of talent on the team. A lot of wins on the team. I mean, if that was the case, right?
Are you excited at the potential of having a dude like that?
Oh, for sure. I
mean, to work with?
You know, like, I've obviously worked closely with, you know, since the beginning here at Cowie with Jason and all of it. But, like, with Prado coming over, and if that's the potential for Chase to be there, like, dude, that's a big deal. For us as a group. It's a big deal. It's what I think it's a good direction if that can come together, so that way we can fight for wins and championships ultimately. And he is the guy available. He's the one with the contract up. There's no one else. So, I mean, Cowie likes winning.
Yeah, they do.
It's been a minute.
And they've had a history.
Yeah.
Can you feel that on the team? Where it's like, hey, we're a championship team. Like, we need to win championships. Like, do you feel that pressure?
Yeah. I mean, it's within.
It's like a cultural thing.
Yeah, it's just any team, though. It doesn't matter what team you're on. For the most part, I mean, being a racer for them or being a test rider or being there just hanging out, like, you can feel it. You can feel it. I mean, it was kind of it's the same thing with, like, Seth at Salt Lake, you know, with that situation. Like, I was over there helping Garrett. Like, you could just feel it. Like, it's just like, so close, you know? And, like, it's a good thing. Because I think if you didn't have that, that means you didn't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's part of the sport.
Yeah.
Like, the ups and downs of that are, obviously, I want to see Pro Circuit succeed, and I wanted them to win that more than anything this year because it's been a long time. You kind of want to see a team that struggled for so many years with injuries and whatnot, like, have a breakthrough.
Yeah.
And for it to be that close and then slip away, like, your heart feels for that, you know?
That was rough.
Yeah.
That was so rough to watch, dude.
Yeah.
It was like Seth was racing 5 dudes out there.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes, though. I mean, yes, it's not easy to watch. Yes, it wasn't easy for him. I know that. But it's racing. It is. I wouldn't say I would have done what RJ did, but I understand. He knew the situation. He knew he needed to beat Seth, and he needed more than that. So what's the best way to do that?
It's funny, Coop in the press conference basically said something to the effect of, like, Chase said that he was going to race clean no matter what, and I can't say I would have done the same thing. Do you think Chase should have been more aggressive in that? Like, what's worth more?
To be honest, I like just go do your thing.
Whoever you are.
Just go race.
Yeah.
Like, I think that cat and mouse racing, when people do that, I think that's pathetic. I do. I think it makes it more like Chase going out and winning by whatever he did at Salt Lake City. That's sick. That's making a statement. Make a statement that you lost still, but I came here to whoop ass, and I did it. You know what I mean? Because he did exactly what he should have done. Yeah, he could have been dirty and maybe took him out, but then he wouldn't have won by 15 seconds, and he could have possibly ruined the race for him and Cooper. I mean, that's a good possibility. But instead, he just went out there and just laid the hammer.
Man,
I think it has more of a statement from my point of view.
It's like a wild decision to make as an athlete, though.
Yeah.
To be like, well, I'm probably not going to win because I'm just not prepared to win like that. Takes a lot of discipline.
I think, too, like, you almost get motivated. I could see myself getting motivated in that position with where he was, because it was like all or nothing. Like, he had no choice. Because, dude, a couple weeks, what race was that Coop and him were about? I'm like, dude, the level that they were fighting to was unbelievable. So it's been a cool year of racing, and to see how good everyone's getting and the level of everyone, it's pretty impressive. Like, I mean, 10th place is well respected from my eyes nowadays. Like, it always has been, but it has another level. Yeah. Like, there are guys that could possibly win a race if things go the right way.
That you know in 10th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could.
Well, look at Malcolm, perfect example. Yeah. You know, AP, like those are guys that, you know, on any night they could be 10th or they've won races. Yeah. That's cool to have in the sport at this point.
100%. I think it's cool because it gives it a story for, you know, and it also throws in more guys. I think when someone wins all the time, naturally everybody doesn't want to like that person. Naturally. So getting more personality, getting another guy in the mix, like, it adds more character to the story, I think. Yeah.
No, I agree totally.
Yeah.
So what's next for you in the next couple of years? You're pretty happy with where you're at, and you've kind of got the program's pretty solid?
Yeah, I have one more year for sure with Cowie. I'm hoping to renew that, obviously. I'm really enjoying that position. I'm having a good time. I feel like I'm still learning, and I still have, I think, the speed and the feel to continue at that level. And for me, on the moving forward, obviously I can't do that forever. So I started coaching again, like we spoke about, and I'm going to go down that road. I want to really work on being exclusive with the guys I have and catering to their needs. And my goal and my vision behind that would be to have probably about 4 guys, and that's max.
How many have you got now?
Just 2.
Yeah. So there's 2 more spaces.
Yeah. And I mean, I want to build to it. I don't want to rush into it. Yeah. I want to learn. I want to, I want to keep learning and keep working with these guys, learning more about personalities and growing closer to them friendship-wise and stuff like that. I kind of want to build my foundation first, and next couple of years, hopefully, have up to 4 guys and be exclusive. I don't want to be cookie cutter. I don't want to be the same as everyone else. I want to bring something that most don't. Yeah. And that's my goal.
Dude, this has been sick.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Glad we finally got to do it today. Yeah, it's been cool, man. You've had a wild ride. Yeah. Like, from the bottom to the top.
Yep. And all in the middle.
Back up again.
Yeah, it's been a cool story.
Yeah, yeah. It's been, and it's always, dude, you're always just such a cool guy to be around at the track. I appreciate that. Yeah, you've always been super cool to me. So
thank you.
Glad we finally.
Yes.
Glad we finally.
We'll do another one soon.
I know, dude. Some Supercross companions or something like that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. 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 Because you're around.
Yeah, I'm here.
Not too far away.
No, I'm here.
What's the normal riding schedule? Like Tuesdays, Glen Helen?
Tomorrow, Paula.
Yeah.
Again, Paris is opened up on Wednesdays, so gonna be there Wednesday, and then Thursday normally Glen Helen.
Yeah.
So, but it's nice that Paris opened up on Wednesdays because the only other place to go was Kahia, and to be honest, I like Kahia to ride, but not for testing and not for motos.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's another great vet track.
Yes.
That vet track
Yes.
rips, bro.
No, I rode the actually KLX 300 there too.
Oh, really?
I thought I was gonna blow the wheels out on one of the jumps though.
Which one?
Well, because I didn't know how big it was, so I cased it, and I thought I was gonna blow the wheels out.
Which
on that
one?
bike.
On the vet track?
The one. Let's see. It was the tabletop, like the step down, like before you go left down at the bottom of the hill.
So you go the top left-hander, and
Yep.
then you jump that step.
The one
step
left
down.
hand sweeper, and then it goes tabletop or step
and then
down.
down,
Yeah, I
and then
cased
left.
that bad.
Really?
Yes. I mean, the jump's not sketchy, but that bike is not meant to
Go that.
case jumps.
Like that.
Yes.
That track's so much fun though, bro.
Yeah.
That's like actually one
No,
of
it
my
was
favorites.
super. I enjoy riding vet tracks. Like honestly, I would have a blast. I told the team, like, let's take that KLX 300. Let's get 15 of them, and all of us go rip Verona Oaks or
Yeah.
something. You know, just go have fun.
It's like rental go-karts.
Yeah.
Because you can just hold them flat everywhere.
It's like a pit bike, but it's not small.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And you can ride the shit out of it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Dude, Verona's fun too.
I haven't been there since a Thor photo shoot, probably 2016.
No way.
Yeah, so it's been a long time.
Yeah,
I
that-
heard it's cool.
It's fun.
I saw a video of Axel. He looks track looks fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I rode out there like a couple months ago.
Yep.
And it was unreal.
Oh, what are they open Thursdays in the weekend or something like that? I think.
I rode on the weekend.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what day they
Yeah.
open. But yeah, it was sick.
Yeah.
Dude, this was awesome.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you
and,
soon.
yeah, we'll see you soon.
Yes.
We'll definitely do this again sometime.
Sounds good.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.